Hello. I think I'm live. Hello. I'm waiting for my streaming software to connect on OBS. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another stream. I hope you can see me. I have drastically changed my setup. I have a complete new monitor configuration, one central monitor. I have a monitor here. The chat is there. I have another monitor there. It's completely different. So I don't know. If there's any issues, basically, this is why, okay? You'll see. There's a bunch of issues when I was trying to set it up with HDR stuff and SDR stuff. I don't know. I just turned off HDR. Anyway, I'm back. It's been an unbelievably long period of time since the last stream. It has been 9 days, which is probably the longest break. I don't think I had a good reason for this long break, but it is what it is. We're here now to talk about stuff. And when I say talk about stuff, I don't have anything specific in mind. I don't actually know what we're going to talk about. There are a few videos, I guess. I was going to say usually we go through Twitter, right? I don't know if there's anything that I've tweeted of note. Mill the Killer is here saying, what was the wheel win again? It was a movie called The Gentleman or something, I think. Which I have not watched yet. I did watch 2 movies the other day, though, back to back, which is Nora and Conclave, and we can talk about those a little bit if anyone wants to. The Gentleman, a 2020 movie. I don't know. What's next? Anyway. Twitter, is there anything? What is this? I have no idea. Oh, Black Mirror. Okay. True. We scroll back. We have the cool fan art thing. I watched... Let's see. What have I actually watched recently? I think I talked about... I watched Your Name. I watched My First Summer. And then Conclave and Nora this week. 2 Oscar nominees. My goodness. A cool Usa fan art. Black Mirror Season 7 is coming, which I am so excited for. The last season was really good. I am always excited for Black Mirror because they can do anything, I guess, every season. It's always kind of fresh and new and interesting, so that's cool. Some cool Elden Ring fan art, and that's it. Now we just have videos. I guess we can also go over, what other videos are actually out, which on Elite Ari, there's nothing. On Ordinary Ari, I even think on that channel, there's nothing. And then on Secondary ENT, there's a discussion for... Were these... No. Wait. There's no way that this title has stayed... Like, there's been this typo in the title for this entire time, right? Why is there a H here? Were these Best Picture nominees actually good? Oh my goodness. Let me message Kyle, okay? Typo in your Secondary ENT title, bro. Anyway, we're here to talk about this in this video here. If you want a brief rundown, oh, it looks like Mills types up in this chat, but if you want a brief rundown, they're both great. Nora is better. I like Nora a lot. I love Nora, and Conclave is an enjoyable and engaging good movie, really good movie. That's my takeaway. And we got one comment. Conclave deserved Best Picture, not Nora. Don't get me wrong, the latter was a great movie, but not Best Picture great. So they completely disagree with our thesis, or my thesis, I guess. I don't want to speak for Kyle here in this video, but it is what it is. They read the title, they even read the typo, and they somehow understood what the title was saying, and they came to their own conclusions. That's great. Anyway, so you're like almost done with Skype here, now that the year's almost a quarter over, right? Yeah, I'm almost done, yeah. I'll be, uploading my great One Piece review any day now, surely. Who watches the Star Trek episode and wants a sequel episode? Insane they've just abandoned the anthology concept now? I don't know. I like that episode. Also, I haven't seen the trailer for Black Mirror, and I have no intention of watching it, but I think I did hear that they're doing... Or maybe I watched the trailer on stream like ages ago, because I do know that they were doing a sequel to the USS Callister or whatever it was called. I don't know. So far, Black Mirror's been really good, and like, it's very rare that there's like a missed episode, which is like pretty bad. So, I don't know. I have faith that they'll, I guess, execute the season very well. But we'll see. You never know. This could be the season where it falls off the deep end and it's actually really bad, but I somehow doubt that. But yeah, videos, that's all that's come out. Now, I truly, again, I think I've said this the past few streams in a row, but I don't have much to actually talk about. There's a few videos when a great character... Oh yeah, sir. Okay, wait. All right. We all know the great Pay Talks anime, right? This is a channel that I've reacted to a few videos, and I think every time I watch one of his videos, I then come back the next stream, and I'm like, I don't remember if I liked that video or not. Now, me just reflecting on this channel, I feel like the last video we watched, I feel like I almost certainly didn't like it. Like, that's just the thing that's in my mind. I'm like, that was a bad video. But, you know, maybe it isn't, and it was actually good. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is, firstly, this guy's got a lot of subs. This has been going really fast. guess making a bunch of, free run. Got some free run content, I guess. 1.2 million views. Maybe that's where this is all from. But this, I saw this in my recommended. When a great character is where you least expect it. I'm assuming it's about this character. I have no idea what this is from. Maybe it's from free run. I haven't seen all of free run. But anyway, this is a video that I've had in my list of videos that I want to make for a long time. It's obviously not about this character, and it's more general about like I guess the concept is where like when a story makes you care out of nowhere, and it's like you don't expect the character to be kind of grip you as much as it does when they're like suddenly introduced, and they kind of might have a little impact on the plot or whatever, but they're actually a very impactful character-wise. So look, it looks like he made a type of video like that. I have no idea. Maybe it's gonna be nothing like this, but we can try and watch it and see what we think about it. Unless it is like free run spoilers, which I guess it is if he's gonna grow his channel, But anyway, great. God literally intervening and causing an explosion was a bit much for me. Yeah, I guess I can see a certain. Yeah, it's like Black Mirror is like perfectly made for me. That's the way I can describe it. Like I can absolutely see why like every episode of this latest season would bother someone. It's just I love it so much. Because the idea there of God literally intervening and causing an explosion is like the coolest thing in the world. Like I think it's so cool. So yeah, I don't know, but I can see why it would bother someone like Miller, I guess. But yeah, we love Black Mirror, and Heath is here dabbing. True. Anyway, let's like watch a little bit of this until we get to like, I guess, free run spoilers and we can stop. I just want to see what the premise of this video is basically. But let's see.
Recently, I polled my audience asking which part of a story or anime is most important to them. Plot, character, setting, or aesthetic.
Okay. So we're going to predict, obviously, the people watching the great Pay Talks anime, you're going to say the characters are the most important, then the plot, then the aesthetics, then the setting. I think that's the order they're going to do. If I had to choose an order for this, or if I had to choose my favorite, I mean, there's no way I could choose one. But if I had to, it'd probably be, I feel like it'd have to be plot, I think. Because I can watch a story that isn't aesthetic, doesn't have an interesting setting, doesn't have interesting characters. But as long as the plot is good, I'm sold. I can't watch something that is just good characters without an interesting plot, setting, or aesthetic. I can't just watch something with an interesting setting. And aesthetic would be like a close second, I guess. Maybe. Aesthetics can carry something really far. But plot is like obviously the correct answer for me here. But we'll see.
At the time I'm recording, 12,000 people have answered. And of those...
Oh, so again, let's predict. I think I said characters, obviously, because, it's like the mainstream opinion. Oh my god, deep characters. We love deep characters. They're like so good and stuff. So that's going to be number one. And then, what did I say after that? Probably plot, and then aesthetics, and then setting, right?
Those 12,000, 65%
Oh, I'm a genius. Okay.
say characters. I think most people would argue that all four components and many more are very important. But for me and a majority of people who answer this poll, characters seem to have the most influence. Because great characters can make otherwise uninteresting plots, aesthetics, and settings fantastic. But what about when a fantastic character is a surprise, coming from a place you least expect? Maybe an undersold, wise, old imperial maid.
Alright, so personally, I don't know anything about this character in free run, so we're going to stop here, but... Okay, this is not at all what I was expecting, actually, so it's okay. We can give this video a pass. It didn't steal my great idea that's unpublished. Are we talking about Conclave? Wait, what? Wait, how are you... Wait. I thought you were talking about the final episode of, Black Mirror, where the nukes go off, right? I thought you were being metaphorical. Wait, okay. Holy, wait a minute. What happens at the end of... Wait, what? God literally intervening and causing an explosion. Oh, you're not even talking about the ending of Conclave. You're talking about the scene with where the thing happens. Okay, that's actually crazy. Holy. I had to like rewrite my mind there for a second. But yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. In this context, because it's like the movie is like, it's like no, it's because this movie is trying. I mean, I talked about this in the discussion, but the movie is like trying to make it as a symbolic kind of thing. Like, I don't care if it's like plot wise that's happening, but it's like a symbolic thing of like, oh, this guy is like wrong. God has like smited his decision or whatever, like to put his name in the thing. And I'm like, oh, it's a bit on the nose. That was my criticism of that. But I agree. But yeah, that's like the one. I mean, if you've seen the discussion, my big issue with Conclave is the on the nose. I don't know, just everything being on the nose and in your face. And I guess that is a good example of that, like the explosion. So I agree with you in that regard, but yeah. Characters, plot, setting. So Miller says characters, plot, setting, aesthetics, easy. I know, it's interesting. It's interesting you prefer setting to aesthetics. I don't know. I guess I can. I mean, they are like the great Pei Talks Anime said. They are all important. You know, people tend to like all of these, but I don't know. I feel like aesthetics is pretty important. But yeah, okay, interesting. Late, says Kyle. True, he is late. If you're still going in an hour, Elite Ari, we can do a little Anora. Well, we'll see. I don't know if I'll still be on in an hour, but yeah. I'll be going back to the beginning. It's such a weird movie. It's too Christian for me in one way, but too progressive for me in another. I don't think it's like too Christian at all in any sense. Like, I don't know how it could be. I don't think it's very Christian. I don't even know what the Christian elements are. I can understand the progressive thing being too annoying. Like, that annoyed me a little bit, but mainly just how, like, on the nose it was. But, yeah. It's not a 5 out of 5. It's a 4 out of 5 for a reason, and that's kind of the main reason. Yeah, Conclave. I don't know. Interesting, engaging, good acting, so on and so forth. All right. Anyway, that was one video down. And by that, I mean, like, 3 minutes of one video. What else is there? We did the AI thing, didn't we? No, we didn't do this, right? Some AI video? I don't know. We might watch that. An hour and a half autopsy of Beast Games by Big Joel. That could be great. Anime studios are struggling to meet animation demands. That could be interesting. And you will lose the people you love. Look back proves why. True, we could do a look back thing. All right, there's this.
Hey, everybody.
And the great Big Joel. Demon Slayer. And then look back. Okay. Let's just start with the controversial, you know, the studios aren't keeping up with demands or whatever, which is almost certainly true, but I guess we'll see.
Wow, how flashy.
Your storytelling is lacking any vibrant sparks of
All right.
At least spice it up a bit.
But I have to ask, at what cost? Before we answer that question, I'd like to first explore how our expectations for anime have gotten so high in the first place. In general, we've seen so many shows in recent years have upped the standard for what can be expected out of anime. If you want my own personal observations, I would say Demon Slayer is probably the biggest culprit for this. It was specifically episode 19 with its astounding animation where the show began to blow up in virality, and everyone began to know about this show and watch it. Many people felt as though the anime had cinematic quality animation, and honestly, I can see that. I mean, the actual Demon Slayer movie, Mugen Train, that came out after this is pretty comparable to what we see in the show, and would also go on to become the highest grossing Japanese film of all time. A title it still holds to this day. And of course, this got people...
It's kind of surprising. Is it really still? Wait, did they say Japanese film? Yeah, in Japan. Wait, oh, in Japan? Who cares about in Japan? Wouldn't you want like all-time worldwide? I guess in Japan makes sense. Okay, anyway.
Expectations higher than ever before, to the point that it now feels like anything less than mind-blowing is considered a disappointment. I remember back in the day when shows like Naruto, One Piece, or even Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, while they didn't have the most jaw-dropping, mind-blowing animation of all time, were still loved and accepted en masse. But now it feels like even if you have pretty good animation, many people will still label your anime a disappointment. Dazzling visuals, that's inevitably what's going to be the most viral thing in this day and age of social media and immediate online consumption. It's the easiest, most surface-level element to look at.
Oh, we love
enjoy, and
JJK?
critique,
Oh my
and look,
god.
animation obviously matters. I mean, would you prefer this or this? Yeah, I think we all know the answer to that. Animation is super important.
That's such a straw man. Like the real point of contention is whether it's you prefer animation or like direction, right? Which is like the big divide. I guess what people say in the discourse or whatever surrounding like JJK versus like Attack on Titan, right? Like Attack on Titan has it's kind of interesting because like in this case, I would be the opposite of the mainstream opinion. Because I would say that JJK has more interesting direction. However, I know it's like a common thing where it's like you have the direction being, or maybe I'm just like parroting a Munkerman talking point at this point, but you have the direction with Attack on Titan Season 4, which is like not the best animation at all. There's no like Sakuga like there is in JJK or whatever, but it's got like really interesting shots and stuff. And then you've got like the direction with JJK, and it's like, which of these do you prefer? Like, do you prefer a story where it's like focusing on giving you interesting shots and cool art and I don't know, like interesting stuff like that? Or do you prefer one that has like really cool animation and stuff? I think I'm more of I don't know, actually. I think I'm probably in the middle, which I assume maybe most people are. But it's not just like you trade off animation for like no animation. You can trade off animation for like focusing on other aspects, right? It's like the Berserk 97 versus like something like JJK, right? I don't know. It is what it is. Well, it implies God is real because of the explosion. Yeah, I guess. That is kind of funny. That's not very Christian. But I see what you mean. Yeah, it's a little religious. I thought that was literally Digibro speaking. You know, it did sound a bit familiar, but true. Who cares about typos? I don't know. When we're trying to, you know, get a video out there, it's pretty important. Good animation was invented in 2019. That is true. That is when I first started noticing good animation, 2019. Sakamoto Days looks horrendous, especially compared to the manga. I have no comment because I don't know anything about that, but cool. Manga is king. That is not true. Manga is the most boring of all of these. We love cool anime. Anyway.
Look, animation obviously matters. I mean, would you prefer this or this? Yeah, I think we all know the answer to that. Animation is super important, but it also isn't the only thing that matters. So does, you know, good story, characters, themes. We need these things as well as good animation. However, it seems as though certain fans have decided to chase the dragon that is Sakuga. Wait, what even is that? Sakuga is basically a term used in anime to describe an animated sequence that is noticeably higher quality than the animation in the
I was watching a Film Buff reaction the other day, I guess to Hunter x Hunter. And Film Buff was like, oh my god, the Sakuga. And I was like, whoa, he knows like the word Sakuga? This is crazy. I don't think of him as like an anime fan or anything, but he knew it. And I was like, whoa, this is like weird. Anyway.
Rest of the show or movie. Often, Sakuga is reserved for very important scenes that were designed to stand out. You know, stuff like fight scenes or emotional moments. And these are often some of the best parts from these anime. So naturally, you might want to ask, well, if these are some of the best scenes, why don't we just make it to where all of the anime is Sakuga? And the answer to that is, it's hard. The fact is, breathtaking animation isn't easy to do. It takes time, manpower, dedication, vision. You can't just pop this stuff out. This is why animation like this is often reserved for the moments in which it'll be the most impactful. It makes these sequences stand out more, as well as eases stress on the production, in theory. The issue is that in the modern era of anime, it seems as though some fans just want more and more Sakuga moments. And what only exacerbates things is how the studios themselves wish to benefit from it. It's no secret now that anime is a massive industry at this point for Japan. It's more popular and mainstream now than it's ever been in its entire history. And it would appear as though that many studios and license holders want to take advantage of this popularity as soon and as effectively as humanly possible. You guys know Mappa, right? We've done a few videos on them in the past. They're one of the most prolific anime.
Oh boy. What have the videos been? Let's see. I'll be honest, I don't see any. Why are people disappointed with JJK's ending? No, I don't know. Oh, Mappa! The birth of a monster. Oh, this could be interesting. Anyway, let's keep going.
Studios in this day and age. Their CEO, Manabu Otsuka, has gone on record saying that the studio aims to compete and grow by basically making a ton of super high quality, prestigious anime as quickly as possible. Like, you hear that and you think, well, that can't work. How are you going to be able to do that without absolutely killing your animators? And guess what? It does work. How? You just kill the animators. It's that easy, man. Mappa has seen a ton of success. They're an incredibly well-known studio with very popular shows that license holders want to work with. Their strategy is working because we live in a community where incredibly flashy, intricate animation is demanded. Animators are being ground up in the gears of an unforgiving industry, and we all cheer because we get to watch Sukuna destroy Shibuya. Yay! Yay! Look, he's killing everyone! Just like Mappa is killing everyone. It's funny how that works, huh? Look, I don't work in the anime industry, but from what I'm seeing, this isn't going to be very sustainable in the long term. For one, because of this new obsession for mind-boggling animation, Yuichi Fukushima, the producer for Spy X Family, has said that 2 core, or 20-plus episode series, if you're not an anime freak like me, are beginning to dwindle. We're not seeing as many of them as we had in the past because packing that much high-quality animation into over 20 episodes is incredibly difficult. In general, when you have to strive to make the best animation possible under a short time frame, it leads to all kinds of serious issues and delays. Attack on Titan was notorious for delaying and splitting up its final season to the point that it became kind of a meme. Zom 100, they weren't even able to finish the full opening until 3/4 of the—
I'm curious, why did Attack on Titan split up so much? Is that like an animation thing? Because I'll be honest, I don't remember any like articles or people talking about like the animator crunch being the issue with why it split up. I don't know. I don't remember enough.
Notorious for delaying and splitting up its final season to the point that it became kind of a meme. Zom 100, they weren't even able to finish the full opening until 3/4 of the way through the anime. And that's on top of the delays the show was already experiencing. I mean, the second season of Jujutsu Kaisen, one of the most popular anime in recent years, aired with unfinished animation. It's so clear that—
Am I crazy? Doesn't that happen all the time? Again, I'm not like, I don't know that much about animation, but what does it mean to be finished? I mean, I don't know.
This strategy of striving for the best animation in the shortest time possible is gonna end up falling apart in the long run. It's just not healthy. But you know what? I'm a hypocrite. I can sit here and act all high and mighty, you know, like, oh, people are too critical and their expectations are too high. But at the same time, I can't act like when I see this incredible animation, I'm not also getting giddy and excited. I too have that monkey part of my brain that just loves seeing stuff like this. And I can't help it. Anime is an industry of creativity and innovation. It's natural that we want to see it improve and get better and better. And you know what? I think animators feel the same way. They're creatives who want to push themselves and etch their name into the industry. And by all means, right? The issue is that higher ups will see the strive for hard work and take advantage of it. A lot of animators new to the industry often can't even afford their own apartment. Some of them even have to live with their parents because it's not just a job to them, it's their life, their passion. And thus, this passion is exploited. The issue doesn't come from the high quality animation itself, rather the business that's employed to create it in the first place. I don't think animators simply ceasing to make great animation is going to solve anything. It would help alleviate the pressure and workload for sure, but at the same time, it also invites stagnation and mediocrity. So how exactly can a solution be found? Well, there's various people in the industry who have given their 2 cents. Shoji Kawamori, the creator of Macross, aka Robotech in the US, has stated that he thinks AI is the solution, and that despite people's aversion
Oh boy, what's the great Kitsu anime gonna say about this?
to the
But
technology,
this is almost certainly true, right? Well, it depends, I guess. Like, AI is going to increase productivity, but it still could come at the cost of the animators, right? Like, if they're still, like, working extremely hard, even with the help of AI, right? Or being worked extremely hard, I mean.
sees it being pushed in the future nonetheless. From a cost and speed perspective, I think it's inevitable AI is going to be used. Putting aside the controversy, I think it's just going to happen. Then you have Yuichi Fukushima, the guy I mentioned before, who stated that in the future he'd like to implement a system in which anime is produced years ahead of its release. Right now, it feels like anime production is very reactionary. People will greenlight a project and then expect it to be released next year. These tight schedules combined with high expectations are leading to production suffering in major ways. Whereas if production was scheduled a few years ahead of an anime's planned release, there'd be more time to make high quality animation and a lot more leeway that wouldn't lead to tons of delays. Another solution for this could also just be, hiring more people. It's well known at this point that there's a labor shortage within the anime industry. Less and less people are wanting to be animators on these shows. We go into more detail in this video, link here if you want to watch it, but the major issue is that animators are treated horribly and many studios can't even afford to give them livable wages. If more money were to flow into these studios, then not only could animators be paid fairly, but they could also hire more hands to help with the heavy workload. People within the industry are discussing ways that studios can be given more money to make these changes, specifically through government intervention that would create new pathways of revenue flow that would hopefully begin to trickle down to the animators' wages. I don't know what's going to be implemented.
Firstly, I don't know, just like everyone else who makes videos about this, I don't know anything about, I've never experienced the culture of working in Japan, right? I only hear what the secondhand thing is, which is like they worked extremely hard. It's like the way that, it's like the culture of all these companies is to like, you go and you work extra hours and you don't complain and you just, if you're sick, you like still work and blah, 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 blah. So that, my limited understanding makes it feel like the solution to this is to have success in a company, like extreme financial success in a company that doesn't have that kind of culture. Because if you have, but then it's like, how do you produce something like that, right? Which I guess could be something like this, like some government, like, I don't know how you do it. You'd have like some extreme involvement in one of these companies and and show that it can be successful, even with a good culture. Because then in that case, you would have all the animators wanting to work at that kind of company, right? Which could cause like social change. I don't know. I feel like the issue is the culture, right? You have to change the culture. If you don't change that, and that's like more of a widespread thing in Japan, is like my understanding, right? Like even if there's more money, if the culture is still the same way, people will still be overworked because it's within like the culture of the company to work, even if you're getting paid more, right? Or even if there's like more people there to help out, like it's still going to result in the same issues, right? But I just like everyone else, I guess, like this person, I assume they don't live in Japan. Maybe they do. Like how we don't know, I guess. I don't know. What can I do, We better be watching Big Joel when I catch up. Oh boy. Yeah, we'll see. I don't even remember what that other Beast Games thing. We might. It's interesting. I have seen Beast Games. Comment on Super Eye Patch Wolf disavowing the reprehensible studio Mapper. He's a big YouTuber, okay? He's using his platform for a good end, I'm sure. Mapper is not, as far as I understand, I don't think, just like every other anime studio that I've ever heard of, except for a few of them, which I think for some reason people say are good, it's probably bad at Mappa, okay? But are they evil? Are they like the worst place in the world? I don't think so. I don't think there's any evidence of that. That they're like notably like horrendous in terms of human rights violations and stuff. That's my position. But yeah, just be like Nintendo and finish games over a year before they're released. True. Is that true? I thought there's like constant complaints that they don't like do that. But maybe I'm just thinking of, I don't know enough about Nintendo. Do they make the Pokemon games that people always complain about? Maybe not. Do like other companies do that or something? I don't know. Anyway, let's finish this. We're almost done.
I don't know what's going to be implemented in the future, but I think what's clear is that those in charge need to figure something out. It's so easy to see anime as this gigantic entity that's
Did this actually happen? Oh my goodness. This is Luffy? Oh my god, in like Las Vegas.
Possible to fail, but we're already seeing the cracks begin to form. I think it's clear that this just isn't sustainable in the long term. I don't think it's inherently wrong to want good animation, but I also don't think it's right.
Wait, why is it not sustainable? What did he say? Because the labor shortage, I guess. I don't know. Maybe?
to achieve that animation at the expense of others. Really, the most important thing in the future is to just find a balance.
So true. We need a balance. But we shouldn't strive for a balance, right? We should strive for an ideal and then arrive at a balance, right? Anyway, I think a lot of anime fans, including myself, have been pretty spoiled on the level of animation to the point if an action-based anime doesn't have god tier, then it's considered bad by some people. True, this is what happened to that, what was it? I only know the English name, Spiral or something? I don't know. Crazy, people didn't like that one. Anyway. We have accepted mediocrity. That's what Kyle Entertainment just said in the chat. Maybe, who knows? It seems like we're the opposite. We're no longer complacent with mediocrity. We only accept things that are above the standard of mediocrity. The anime industry is just taken lightly. What expectations do we have? Gaming and anime both have dark secrets hidden under those beautiful industries. The fun fact is everyone describes anime as an animation with jaw-dropping fucking scenes. Oh yes, but unknowingly, the literal meaning of anime is creative art made by an artist. Holy. No, it's a creative art that is forced out by a corporation. That is anime, okay? If we want to fix it, we have to fix the corporations. Okay. I don't know, that was pretty bad, but I don't know what to expect by a 10,000 sub channel. You know, we love them. They're a small channel, they're making videos, make more. The more the merrier. Alright. You will lose the people you love. Look back proves why. This could be pretty boring, but it is a small channel, so it could also be pretty good. We have the Beast Games one, and then we have AI, a tool. You know what? Let's continue on since we're doing stuff like this about Japan's industry. Artificial intelligence, a tool or threat for Japan's manga industry. So I guess it's probably both a tool and a threat. If anything, it's probably more of a threat, but I feel like the threat is probably worldwide for like every industry, right? Or at least every creative industry. I don't think it's very unique to manga. I guess maybe it's unique to manga because manga is... like a single person can make a manga. A single person can't make an anime or like a movie or like a TV show or something. Like manga can be very solitary. So if you can automate that single person by like using AI or replacing them with AI, I guess it's probably much easier to do in manga than other forms. So I guess it's probably maybe more valid in this case in other mediums. But yeah, let's see. Also, I might get like copyright strike for this, right? It's like an actual news thing. I guess we'll see. We'll pay attention.
Artificial intelligence is essential to the work being done at this animation studio in Japan.
Wow, this suggestion of a house is perfect for my character.
A year ago, employees would spend hours trying to come up with ideas and drawing characters by hand. But now, AI is responsible for 60% of the studio's output. The system needs just a few instructions to suggest images. Then some minor retouching by hand, and the image is brought to life. AI is central to the process, from creating the original images to transforming them into animation.
This is the latest version. I just added the water movement and a few other elements. Before, it would have taken me 5 days to create this animation using traditional methods. With AI, it only took 20 seconds.
The studio uses 10 different programs, depending on what the artists need. Together, it costs about €600 per month. AI doesn't always produce perfect results straight away, but the time savings are invaluable for the studio's 6 employees.
Due to our limited human resources, I was looking for new ways to improve efficiency. We concluded that AI could help us, so we gave it a try.
AI is making inroads into industries around the world. The creative sector is no exception. Japan earned €30 billion in 2022 from overseas sales of manga, anime, and video games. But manga fans have mixed...
Wonder how much of that is video games. That's kind of funny. Why did you watch Your Name twice? I'd rather cut off my ear. Because firstly, number one, I love Your Name. It's like one of my favorite anime movies I've seen in my life. And secondly, why not? You know, it's great. What a movie. Why would I want to rewatch it? Anyway, crazy. No one could come up with character designs before AI. I don't even know what Miller's arguing with here because they just said it makes it more efficient, right? It's quicker, isn't it? Isn't that what they said? I don't know.
Feelings about AI.
I like the work of manga artists who draw in a traditional way, so I don't really like the idea that this culture could be lost.
If AI
Oh my god, it's One Piece.
me to get new mangas more quickly, I'm happy. I want to read the works of my favorite authors as soon as possible.
The success of manga relies on rapid publication, and AI means new titles can be released even quicker. For decades, these Japanese language publications release new, exclusive chapters every week. Now, though, some publishers are releasing online versions simultaneously, and they can be read worldwide in different languages.
Like Chainsaw Man, oh my
This
god.
firm has used AI to translate newly released chapters for the past year. All the system needs is the original pages and blank spaces for the translated text.
Here you see the Japanese text is automatically detected by AI. The English translation will then appear and be placed directly in the corresponding boxes.
A 30-page chapter can now be translated in just 2 days thanks to AI. It used to take a week. And the
That's kind of interesting because to me it feels like, why would it take 2 days? Like, if it can just do all that. But I guess maybe there's a lot of like procedure involved, like checking, and not even the checking. The checking would be quick, but like the maybe having different people involved in like cross-checking and then getting different approvals and stuff. Maybe that takes 2 days. I'm curious.
speed of publication makes it harder to produce pirate copies.
Sometimes there are no translations available for certain manga, so readers go to unofficial websites. By making translation faster and more accessible, we can take on these illegal sites.
But AI is not always on the right side of the law, as this illustrator of 15 years found to her cost. Last year, someone impersonated her online and used AI to publish drawings inspired by her work. She's asked to remain anonymous.
Here are characters that are very similar to mine. The author then threatened me on social media, saying they would create pornographic images inspired by my manga.
Jesus.
It's clearly been done to harm my reputation.
The ordeal has taken a toll on her mental health.
When I first noticed it, I felt nauseous, and my body shook with anger. I remember the feeling as if it were yesterday. Unless you have experienced something...
It's like that guy colored his manga panel and he wasn't happy about it. But yeah, I hate when this happens. This is my big thing I have against AI. Anyway. Emil says, ew. True. You watch other Shinkai films? I have seen 5 centimeters per second. I've seen Your Name. What else have I seen? I feel like I saw something else. Oh, and Garden of Words. Yeah. As if skilled character designers can't just sketch up a new character in a minute. I don't know if Miller's being ironic here. I feel like, is that true? I feel like if it was that easy, then you probably wouldn't need a dedicated character designer for something, right? You could just like contract it, give them like an hour of work, and then they'd be done, right? I feel like it's probably harder than it sounds, right? Bro, what Lamau? I've seen official translators say it takes them like an hour to translate. Okay. You know what? I don't know enough about this, and I'm just not going to comment, but I'm also not going to take Miller's word for it here, but yeah. Fan subs for anime come out on the same day, and that's got to be harder than translating a manga? Why would it be harder? No, as in, like, you mean, like, translation-wise, yeah. But you're just producing subs, right? Like, for manga, you also have to, like, do the lettering and stuff. Like, actually, what do you call it? Like, where you... Like, sometimes you need to, like, draw stuff back, right? Like, the stuff you remove, you need to, like, draw it again or whatever. Whereas for an anime, it's, like, longer because you have to translate more or whatever, but it's just subs, right? You just, like, put a sub on the screen somewhere, right? I don't know. Shinkai films look so digital and icky. Well, One Piece looks bad, okay? So, there we go. We can all play this game, okay?
Like this, it's hard to understand how awful it is.
Japanese copyright laws do little to protect content creators. Pointing out similarities is not enough to convict a bootlegger. Elements of the drawing must be an exact copy of the original. Copiers used to need real talent to pass off manga as their own, but with AI they can plagiarize images in a few seconds. This lawyer, specializing in copyright cases, says 60% of his clients are victims of AI-generated plagiarism.
Japanese law tends to indirectly encourage the use of artificial intelligence. We need to rethink not only the law, but also contracts and even technologies. That's the only way we will be able to protect authors.
Japan's culture agency is harnessing AI to fight back and track illegal manga online. And not before time, say the country's creators, who lose about 800 million euros a month through manga piracy.
Whoa. That ended suddenly. I don't know, it's like somewhat interesting. Do I have anything to say about this? I don't know. Yeah, AI bad, but also AI good. And is it going to be solved? Probably not, but I guess you can try. Of all the sci-fi scenarios I've read over the years, not a single one of them predicted that computer intelligence would be an aesthetic threat. True. I hate where the world is going. Nobody appreciates effort and process anymore, only results. I mean, there's obviously a large chunk of people who value this, but yeah, the mainstream is obviously not going to value process. That only, yeah, I don't know. There's a very sad era for art. Let's hope the human-drawn pieces will gain even more value as time goes on. Well, then the issue would be, how would you prove that it's like human-made, right? But true. The problem is that AI is going to unleash a tsunami of content of an already saturated internet. Yeah, true. Okay, well, it's a shame. We live in a depressing world, guys. Anyway, this is one early stream. It is. It is. But here we are. Okay, so that was the next video. Now we have the You Will Lose People You Love. Look back proves why. I don't think we're going to watch this whole thing. It kind of sounds a little boring, but it's by a small channel, so we'll give it a chance.
So I finally watched Look Back. As soon as I finished, I rushed to see what people were saying and saw the praise for the brilliance of its sound design, how so much of the story is Fujimoto Tatsuki, its creator, injecting his own life and experiences as an artist.
I like the pronunciation of the name. Oh my goodness.
About its connection with the arson attack at Kyoto Animation. But I'm obsessed with seeing characters like their people, and I was rather disappointed there wasn't more about Fujino and Kyomoto themselves. I know Fujino, Kyomoto, that they're the story's creator condensed into 2 characters, has been rehashed to death, but I can't help seeing them as if they weren't. As if
You know what? This actually might be a good video. Oh my
they were
goodness.
just 2 young girls who couldn't be any different, but through their unexpected friendship were inspired to pursue their dreams. It was all very uplifting, of course, until it wasn't. So, of course, I took a ton of notes, and my thoughts wandered. What if, in every meaningful relationship, there's an event horizon? A point where, no matter how much that relationship has inspired us and been our everything, further pursuing that dream means doing it alone. And once we cross that point, all that's left is deciding whether to look back with resentment or acceptance. Now...
Well, I need it. What an interesting point. Wait.
In every meaningful relationship, there's an event horizon. A point where, no matter how much that relationship has inspired us and been our everything, further pursuing that dream means doing it alone. And once we cross that point, all that's left is deciding whether to look back with resentment or acceptance. Now, Fujino and Kyomoto's artistic abilities develop in contrast to each other, illustrating something psychologists call social identity theory, which is defining ourselves in relation to the groups in which we belong, or in this case, to another artist. Fujino creates characters without worlds. Kyomoto builds worlds without characters. The literal negative space in their art, what each leaves out, becomes what the other provides. It's no coincidence that they then become friends, because their art, like their identities, complement each other. First, Fujino's the character Fujimoto relates to most, and I can see why. Anyone ambitious can probably sympathize with the emotional roller coaster she goes on, from the crest of praise where everyone says she could become a professional artist, to the plunge of, next to Kyomoto's drawings, yours look pretty average. At the height of her praise, the classroom is filled with the voices of classmates laughing at the panels, requesting her autograph, and running her mouth. Oh, I was so busy this week, so I did it in 5 minutes. School is her safe space, so much so that when her teacher approaches her about giving half her panels to the shut-in a class over, she shrugs it off as nothing. With an air of superiority, Fujino declares she's unsure if drawing decent art is possible for a wimp who can't even come to school. Then the next week comes, and Fujino is devastated by the overwhelming curiosity and praise for Kyomoto. Sure, Kyomoto's panels lack any people, but her scenery tells a story without them. Not to mention, her skill is better than what the average adult might struggle to draw. All the comparisons, which Fujino can't reason away with the evidence right in her hands, make the compliments she's received thus far seem worthless. One thing undeniable about Fujino is she's competitive. She's great at sports, bold and outgoing, so Kyomoto's appearance feels like a challenge. Season after season, Fujino proceeds to research how to improve, studying anatomy and filling stacks of notebooks with crude drawings that always fall short of Kyomoto's details. She pulls far away from everyone, putting her all into drawing, but the compliments pull away from her too. Her friends say now they're about to enter middle school, isn't she getting too old for drawing? She doesn't hang out with anyone, doesn't participate in sports, and her test scores have tanked. Even so, Kyomoto's drawings are always better. She's tried so hard and yet still can't win. She gives up on drawing manga, eats ice cream with friends, watches TV with family, and tosses out her stack of notebooks. Well, Fujino gets this thrown back in her face when she brings her elementary school diploma to Kyomoto. After all, she's technically the only person in their entire school, outside of maybe Kyomoto's homeroom teacher, who probably has any connection to her. And inside Kyomoto's house, Fujino finds those same notebooks. Hundreds of them. Of course Kyomoto was better. She's worked harder. This is another thing you need to know about Fujino to really understand her. She's extremely logic-minded, or at least that's how she presents herself. There's a spark of understanding when she sees the notebooks. This makes it easier for her to swallow why Kyomoto has always been the superior artist, and this spark is what allows her to pick up the empty panels and draw the strip that gets Kyomoto out of her room. Accident or not, Fujino effectively communicates with others through her art, which is something in daily life Fujino sucks at. On the surface, she's incredibly straightforward and confident, but she struggles to express herself when she feels complex emotions that might make her appear weak. For example, when she realizes her rivalry with Kyomoto was entirely one-sided. Instead of meeting Kyomoto's admiration for her stories with compliments for the other girl's scenery work, or the truth of why she stopped drawing, she lies she's taking a break to reach the next step up through a manga competition and promises to let Kyomoto read it once she's done. And it would be one thing if Fujino lied and never followed through, and she very well could have done that. She had no obligation to Kyomoto and would probably never have to interact with her again. But the last thing really to know about Fujino is she's stubborn in all the best and worst ways.
You know what? I guess we'll see if this gets interesting, because it feels like, yeah, she's gonna do a analysis of this character and then analysis of the other one, and then maybe talking. This is the bit I'm interested in, I think. But yeah. Did you see the record low Blind Wave Sonic 3 discussion time? No, I didn't. Wait, let's check that quickly. Blind Wave Sonic 3. I don't know if it's a record. There's no way it can be record low. Some of those Hunter x Hunter discussions were like 3 minutes. Hey guys. This is kind of crazy though. My goodness. So 32. Oh, they had a nice 8-minute discussion. That's lovely. We love that. Well done, Blind Wave. Oh, big news, guys. Big news, okay? I think it's been like 3 months since I've watched like a Blind Wave thing. So I did cancel my membership for Patreon, okay? It's been too long, you know. I don't watch a single thing. They never react to stuff I want them to react to anymore, you know. I still love Blind Wave, but, you know, I'm not a Patreon member anymore. It's a sad day, a very sad day indeed. Anyway. God, I Live recap. That is true. This is a lot of recap. However, I guess I would probably not classify this as recap because it's not purely just recap, but it's like a descriptive analysis, I guess. I don't know. It's like talking about the character and it's using examples in a chronological sense, but it's also like obviously giving their opinion on stuff. So it's like a mix of like it does feel like recap, I'll say that. But yeah. Sad news, Miller making a good complaint. True. Okay, I guess you guys don't like recap. I love recap. This is good. Firstly, I don't think it's good for reacting on stream because I have nothing to say, obviously. For instance, MH says react harder. Very true. But obviously, I'm a big fan of this style of video because I make videos like this where the whole point is to like convey an emotion through like a bunch of recap, right? Which just wait for my next video because that's going to be the point of the next video. We'll see when it comes out, but yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. And Miller said, for movies, it has to be a record. Probably, yeah. This is big news. Congrats, Ari. Thank you, you know. Yeah. I decided the other day, you know, I just did it. It is what it is. But I am still a great early access, full-length Film Buff Patreon member. He's my favorite reactor at the moment. I'm so excited whenever he uploads a new Hunter x Hunter reaction that somehow, miraculously, he hasn't fallen behind. And it does seem like he's actually going to finish the anime within this month. And then also the other day he reacted to The World Enough in Time, which is a fantastic episode of Doctor Who. I watched the full length reaction of that. It was very good. And next week I guess on Monday or Tuesday or something, he reacts to The Doctor Falls, which I'm excited to rewatch through a full length reaction. So anyway, let's keep going.
So this interaction lights a fire in her. In a scene that could have been right out of La La Land or Dancing in the Rain, Fujino prances, splashing water, runs right up to her room soaking wet, and gets to work. What ensues is what seems like Fujino once again pulling away from others, but she's pulling closer to Kyomoto, toward their shared love of drawing. We all construct our artistic voices through comparison, collaboration, and sometimes competition. The spaces between us, what we see in others that we lack in ourselves, often drives us. For Fujino, the empty backgrounds of her panels represent not just artistic limitations, but emotional ones as well, spaces she couldn't define until Kyomoto showed her how. But we shouldn't forget that Kyomoto isn't just a supporting character in Fujino's story. She escapes that role when she leaves her house to work on their manga. It's rather easy to view her as a passive figure in contrast with Fujino's more outwardly driven personality, but her decision to leave the safety of her room, small as it seems, is a pivotal moment. Developmental psychologists often describe a pattern we all experience. Moving from dependency to independence, and ideally to interdependence. Look Back captures this journey through Kyomoto, or at least it would have, had her journey not been so abruptly cut short. When we first meet Kyomoto, it is through her art. She has an attention to detail and light that makes her drawings breathe, but they lack any living subject. As she later admits, Kyomoto stopped going to school because she was afraid of people, so it's no wonder her art never includes them. Yet the courage it must have taken Kyomoto to step outside her door demonstrates a desire to overcome her current situation. Her outspoken admiration of Fujino's characters and stories shows she knows what her art lacked without needing to conceal her flaws. This directly contrasts to Fujino, who bottles up her weaknesses. This contrast between them is a crucial dynamic to understanding them as characters. Their collaboration isn't only successful in how they balance each other, it's the catalyst that brings Kyomoto out of her isolation and the reason behind her unfortunately painful decision to attend university. This is where the concept of scaffolding comes in, the support that allows someone to reach beyond their current abilities. Through Fujino's influence, Kyomoto found more than just artistic improvement. She found a reason to engage with the world. And yet, when we see Kyomoto's empty house, her funeral attended by almost no one.
Now that I'm watching this, I feel like the more interesting thing is the psychological thing that she keeps mentioning. Whatever, like the psychologists say this or whatever. That's probably the point of this, I guess. I don't know.
It becomes painfully clear how little support she had in Fujino's absence. Fujino drew her out, first through art and then physically into the world. Kyomoto admits she only started drawing because she had nothing else to do. Her art as a coping mechanism rather than a passion allowed Kyomoto to create a safe world where no people existed. Yet under Fujino's friendship, her art transformed into a shared purpose and identity. Ironically though, effective mentorship ultimately creates independence. As Kyomoto gains confidence and skill, she naturally questions what she needs to continue growing. I want to try living on my own, she tells Fujino, without having to rely on you. Unlike how it might sound, this isn't a rejection. Kyomoto is taking Fujino's own advice too literally. If your drawing skills improve, so will your speed, Fujino had told her. And Kyomoto, ever aspiring to live with the confidence Fujino inspired in her, makes the mature choice to pursue formal education, a decision that demonstrates both her commitment to improving her art and confronting her fear of interacting with others. Really, the most painful thing about Kyomoto's death is everything it ended. Of course, there are the years Kyomoto had yet to live, then the years she'd already spent becoming someone brave enough to overcome her fears, of learning to exist independently from someone she cared about so much. But perhaps most tragically, it ended any chance of reconciliation with Fujino. What remains instead is a blank panel, the space where their future together should have been. Fujino's anger at Kyomoto's departure wasn't only stubbornness. It was the very fear of this loss, as if some part of her sensed the fragility of time. Perhaps this is what creates the alternate timeline where Fujino saves
Wait, I need to hear that again.
the space where their future together should have been. Fujino's anger at Kyomoto's departure wasn't only stubbornness. It was the very fear of this loss, as if some part of her
Okay, yeah, obviously. Okay. Jesus, okay.
the fragility of time. Perhaps this is what creates the alternate timeline where Fujino saves her, forming a protective
Wait, what? Okay, wait.
should have been. Fujino's anger at Kyomoto's departure wasn't only stubbornness. It was the very fear of this loss, as if some part of her sensed the fragility of time. Perhaps
I guess. I feel like it's a very common thing that happens, right? Where someone is doing something you don't want them to do because, like, on one hand, like, you can call them selfish or whatever, but really it's like because you're lonely and you're like, oh, you don't want them to leave. I think that's what's going on here, not like she's sensing the time stuff. I don't know.
perhaps this is what creates the alternate timeline where Fujino saves her.
Well, I guess like it does create the alternate timeline, like symbolically or whatever. I guess, yeah.
Forming a protective place where they meet when Fujino is coming back to drawing manga.
Oh, and that's the point of this video. She's talking about that's the moment, right? Where it's like you have a decision, or you like, yeah, you decide whether you're going to do things on your, like, you're going to focus on the thing or you're going to focus on the relationship. And I guess that's kind of what she was saying. I don't know. We'll see.
Kyomoto has
Wait.
enough experience to support her. Or if everything had played out differently in the original world, Kyomoto could have returned to Fujino with new skills and perspectives. The revolving door of assistants were fast but not dedicated enough to detail. Fujino becoming the shut-in, while Kyomoto ventures out into the world. The emotional and physical toll it took for Sharkick to succeed. All of this suggests that with Kyomoto, things could have been different. Or at the very least, they could have carried their burdens together. But instead, their friendship crossed an event horizon. That critical point where interactions have stopped, and no longer can they help or protect each other, even if they wanted to. Once
Oh, okay, so that wasn't the scene. I guess it's the death scene.
Kyomoto stepped beyond Fujino's influence to forge her own path. Neither could they see that they were entering a point of no return. So by the time Fujino realized what was truly at stake, Kyomoto had already crossed into a space where she could never be saved. Instead, what remained wasn't just distance, but an entirely separate world drawn from all the words left unsaid, taking form in the space between what was and what could have been. Kyomoto's already crossed into a space where she could never be saved. Instead, what remained wasn't just distance, but an entirely separate world drawn from all the words left unsaid, taking form.
That's kind of cool, because like she was talking about how you've got the Kyomoto who's drawing like the people and the living stuff, and you got, I mean, sorry, Fujino who's doing that, and Kyomoto who's drawing the backgrounds and stuff, and they exist in like different spaces. That's like a cool, I guess, language thing to put in a script. I like that.
Drawn from all the words left unsaid, taking form in the space between what was and what could have been. Kyomoto's alternative manga strip creates such a space where their paths diverge but ultimately reconnect, where Fujino saved Kyomoto after giving up drawing, while Kyomoto still pursued art school. When they meet in this alternate timeline, Fujino claims she started drawing again, and I like to believe that this is a lie, mostly because Fujino is just stubborn enough to make it become true. This alternative world really gets to the heart of what look back means. The title cleverly echoes Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis, a song that Fujimoto directly references in the manga. As Noel Gallagher explains, the song, it's about not being upset about the things you might have said or done yesterday. It's about looking forward rather than looking back. The danger of viewing the growth of our loved ones as a betrayal robs us of precious present moments. Art, for one, is created by an artist as a reflection of how they see the world. No matter how hard we try to sympathize, we only have our own eyes to see through. This makes personal development essential for the broader world to benefit. Because of Fujino's stubbornness, it's easy to see where the cracks formed in their relationship, when Kyomoto begged Fujino to believe in her. But Fujino, unable to express herself, discounted Kyomoto's contributions instead. She dismissed Kyomoto's ambitions as impossible, listing the reasons one by one. She's too shy to even talk to a cashier, a degree wouldn't guarantee a job. Finally, when logic failed, Fujino begged in her own way, grasping for the one argument that mattered the most to her. If you stay with me, everything will turn out all right. Kyomoto's simple response, I'll practice. She wasn't asking for reassurance, nor was she trying to be defiant. She was acting on what Fujino herself taught her. By dismissing Kyomoto's aspirations, Fujino ensured that, whether or not she was right, their friendship would end. They lost each other then, and Kyomoto's death meant that they could never get that time back, nor would they ever have any time in the future. Fujino's room reflects this. The empty floor, the space that Kyomoto once occupied, could represent everything she sacrificed in her stubborn pursuit of success. The same goes for Kyomoto's room. Left untouched, a shrine to the past that can't be reclaimed. The preserved sketchbooks, the undisturbed clothing with Fujino's autograph, evidence of a future cut short. Like an event horizon, some moments in our lives become points of no return. As for the film's title, it holds two meanings on how to deal with this moment. In Oasis's Don't Look Back in Anger, it's that dwelling on yesterday's pain only stops us from moving forward. But in Kyomoto's alternative manga, Look Back takes on another meaning. When translated from Japanese, it could be read as Look at my back, echoing one of the last things Fujino ever said to Kyomoto. Keep your eyes on my back, and you'll grow too. The irony is that Kyomoto took this advice to heart while Fujino herself couldn't follow it. For years, it's likely Fujino fell into her shut-in life and acted like Kyomoto didn't exist, focusing only on her art and the numbers that reflect her logical understanding of success. After Kyomoto's death, Fujino finally understands why she draws manga, tedious, unglamorous work that it is. She realizes it was never about the art itself, but the joy of creating together. The blank panels she tapes on her window might appear empty, yet it's filled with possibilities for her future and for all of the stories she'll tell for the both of them. If you enjoyed this analysis of Look Back and the pain of growing apart, I'd appreciate it if you checked out one of my other videos. And when you're stuck between creating alone or growing together, ditto. That's why I'm Pickle Ditto, because whatever storytelling pickle you're in, I've probably been there too.
That's I kind of like that, explaining the channel name at the end. I mean, that is not a good React video, but I think that was a good video. A lot of small, interesting things. Cool writing at points. By a small channel of all things. We love that. What else have they made? Stop writing stereotypical characters with these 6 archetypes. Okay. Oh wow, only this many videos. Master your stories opening. Hook, tone, and structure secrets. How villains see love and why it never works. I'll be honest, none of these are grabbing me. Alright. Sad news. I gave Kyle 9 whole Australian dollars and he still hasn't given me the link to his Discord. Oh my goodness. Well, you better get on top of that, Kyle. They honestly don't care anymore. Their discussions are so short now. You can probs graph it out. I don't think that's my issue with Blind Wave. I think it's more so they're just not reacting to stuff that I watch. Yeah, it's the bigger thing. Which might be more my fault than theirs, because I'm just like not watching stuff anymore that's like popular, I guess. I don't know. So he's finishing Doctor Who and Hunter x Hunter at the exact same time. He really isn't holding his Patreons hostage anymore. Now they're actually going to leave. That is true. Yeah, it's true. He's finishing Doctor Who any day now. I think he tweeted out like something about Peter Capaldi, right? Wait, let's see. No, wait, film of. Is it like this? I hope. Did I get it right? Please tell me I got it right. Oh, they're protected. Well, I get to see these protected tweets because I follow him. But he tweeted something implying that he'd finished Doctor Who already. So, yeah. Anyway. Middle of the Kill is still waiting for End of Evangelion, or is that done? I'm waiting for the Attack on Titan finale from the Great Film Buff, okay? Psychologists say you are not happy when you are sad. That's a good point. Yeah, that would be something psychologists would say, right? I think End of Evangelion and AOT finales are still on hold. Love how I know this, having never finished one of his videos. That is true. Don't worry, he's getting through a rewatch. He's rewatching both Evangelion and I think maybe Vinland Saga and definitely Attack on Titan. And don't worry, the reactions will come any day now, I'm sure. He's struggling, okay? His brother had a surgery or something and he had to like look after his brother. There's a lot of stuff. Film Buff's got a busy life. So yeah. Anyway. Reaction channel's biggest mistake is always trying to chase the biggest trends. I don't give a fuck about 15th person reacting to whatever the fuck is airing this season. Go make some evergreen content and react to some classic shows. Firstly, I don't think that's the case because reacting to popular stuff is like how you grow your channel, right? Surely. Like if I were to guess, well, okay, wait, let me think actually. We can go to like a newish channel like Studio Gek, right? Do you think, I guess without looking, I don't even know what they've reacted to. That's the issue. Do you think they've reacted to Death Note? Because I was thinking like, do you think their Death Note reactions have more than their like Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 reactions? I feel like JJK Season 2 would have more views. But let's say we watch like episode 13 of Death Note or something, right? Okay. So that gets like 100,000 views, right? And then if we go to like season 2, episode 13 of like, they probably haven't reacted to it, right? JJK. Oh, they have. Okay, it's 300,000 views. I don't know. It's probably important to like watch common stuff. But then you could probably say that like, well, I was going to say you could probably say that JJK is an outlier because it's so popular and recent, but you weren't saying that it's like popularity or doing based on classicness or whatever. I don't know. Anyway. I think it's genuinely over when reactors have to watch recaps and need sheets for character names made by their fans. That's how you can tell they have zero passion. I obviously disagree. You can obviously be watching a million things and need recaps, and doesn't mean that you are passionate about it any less. But it is annoying when I'm watching JJK and Blind Wave doesn't know any of the names of the characters and they forget plot details and stuff. It does bother me, so I agree in that regard. But yeah. Okay. Why anime adaptations always suck? Oh my god. This could go a million ways, right? It could be a corporation greed or something, corporate greed. It could be the passion just isn't there. It could be anime is just like, it's about the energy, and these live actions, they're not about the energy. They're about like something else. I don't know. I don't know. This could be a million things. Do you think we can figure it out in the first like minute so I don't have to watch the whole thing?
When I was a kid, I always wished Pokemon was real. To the point where I somehow had a lucid dream that Beautifly was hovering over my bed in the middle of the night, and I woke up and I got scared and ran to my parents' room. Now, do you know what happened there? Karma for wishing Pokemon was real. Because in actuality, Pokemon would look terrifying. You don't want to see Mr. Mime's eyeball veins. Why was that necessary, first of all? Or Lickitung.
Just remember, every argument is going to be an argument against the Sonic movies, which I think people really like, right? So, I don't know.
Flesh and saliva.
Please don't.
You know what? I liked this version better. It feels like making everything live action is like the natural next step for an animated property. And they continuously prove again and again, whoever the suits at the time, I don't know who, they think
this is a brave video if it's going to go against the One Piece live action. I am excited. That's going to be
cartoons
cool.
are nothing to take seriously. Plus, I like money. So, live action it is. Obviously, I'm probably preaching to the choir here. Things don't have to be live action to be creatively different or explore a new medium. That's not the only option out there. Pokemon Concierge, made entirely out of stop motion, looks so cool. This animator made Pokemon look really cool, with using that semi-realistic look that didn't make the Pokemon look disgusting and terrifying.
Oh, we're almost done. Let's keep going.
Because it doesn't
That's all
need
we
to
got
look
here.
realistic, because realistic doesn't equal better. And today we'll not only complain about adaptations like every other human being on
You could all actually never mind.
Earth has already done, but actually go in and analyze the question I would annoy everyone with when I was a kid, and the doctor told my parents that I might be
Why?
autistic, and they said that's not real, so then they never told me until my sister revealed it to me not that long ago, and now a whole lot of things make a whole lot more sense, and I'm only finding out like kind of recently, and so are you. So we're
Is the question going to be why? I think so.
gonna ask why.
Wow, what a funny, what a gag. Okay. Yu Yu Hakusho, I have no opinion. Sponsor, I have no idea. Dragon Ball Evolutions? Isn't it Evolution? I don't know. Cowboy Bebop, I have an opinion on that. Death Note. One Piece, that's the bit we want to see. What's wrong with One Piece? Because people love this.
You back the fuck. Which brings me to the One Piece live action remake that didn't do that.
Funny.
Oh, it's the exception. It's the good one, right?
I thought I'd end this video off with a show I liked. One Piece.
Of course. Okay. That's great. All right. Detective Pikachu is infinitely better than the Sonic movies. Okay, well, I haven't seen either. I just know that people really like the Sonic movies, but I guess people also really like the Detective. Sorry, I just saw Miller say kill me. True. I was like, oh my god, finally we got a video that Miller's gonna like because they agree on the One Piece thing, but no. Ay. Anyway. Alright. I feel like I was mid-sentence about the Pikachu thing. Oh yeah, I don't know about either of those. I have no idea, but crazy. When I think of like live action, I think of Alita Battle Angel, right? People like that. I like that, so I can speak for myself. But then again, I like the Cowboy Bebop thing, and people didn't like that. But 7.3 on IMDb is like pretty good. What else is there? Is there much else? I feel like there's obvious stuff that people like that I'm just not thinking of. Like people really like anime successful live action anime adaptations. Okay, none of these are sticking out as good, except for Alita. Don't worry, Reddit's got our back, okay? Okay, no, none of these. None of these. Holy. Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe there are no good anime adaptations except for Alita Battle Angel. Okay. Beast Games and Autopsy. There's no way we're going to be watching this hour-and-a-half video, but I don't know. Have I ever liked a single Big Joel video in my life? Maybe. Hey, I remember the Black Mirror one was really bad, but also like really well made. Like it looked cool. I don't know. Holy. Did you see an All You Need Is Kill anime movie is being made? Firstly, I have no idea what that is. All You Need Is Kill. I didn't... Wait, did we watch a trailer for this? No, we didn't. I don't know what this is. I got no idea what this is. But cool. Good for you, I guess, and the fans. Did you see one of the One Piece live-action show writers said One Piece villains from the 90s is definitely based... Wait. A One Piece villain from the 90s is definitely based on Donald Trump? No, that's pretty funny. It's always wild to me when people say that Trump was like famous before he became president, because I'd never heard of him, but I guess it makes sense. At first I was younger, and I'm not American, so I don't know. But to me, it's like wild that some person in, I guess, I don't know, Uda, is that his name? Manga author would know who Trump is. Unless Miller's making fun of them because they're saying that that wasn't obviously the case because he wouldn't know who Donald Trump is at the 90s. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. We can watch a little bit of this. Okay, I've already talked a little bit about what I thought about Beast Games, at least the first half of it. So I'm not worried about spoiling my thoughts on it or anything, but it was like pretty bad, but Like there's some good stuff to it, but it's pretty bad in general. But let's see.
So I'm sure that there are a good number of people right now talking about Beast Games, the record-breaking Mr. Beast Amazon Prime reality television show.
If I win $5 million, I can use that to make passive income for the rest of my life.
And I'm sure that much of that conversation is tied in some way to the show's creator, the Beast. Mr. Beast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, is not an uncontroversial figure. The world's biggest YouTuber, he's been at the center of his fair share of drama and scandal, and that's even the case about the production of this
Beast Games contestants filed lawsuit claiming dangerous conditions on set, willing to die for Mr. Beast and
very show. I'd broadly say that among adults who have a strong opinion on him, most don't like him very much, and I'm guessing that this aversion—
I am the sheep that is against the herd, okay? I don't have a strong negative opinion of Mr. Beast.
Will be a very relevant factor in the way that people digest and discuss Beast Games. That stuff, scandal and controversy, it's not really what this video is about. I don't say that to imply that I'm superior to those conversations, it's just that I'm not a journalist or anything, and there are certainly many other videos you can watch with that kind of discussion. No, personally, I'm interested in the games. I am interested in Beast Games.
Alright, number one criticism I've seen all over Reddit. Too much chance, okay? Give them a chance to play a game. You don't have to randomly eliminate them. Is that going to be the first criticism? We'll see.
I'm interested in the games that this man has his contestants play on the road to $5 million because they are genuinely fascinating to me. Let me cut to the chase here. At various points watching this show, I truly felt like I was going insane, that I couldn't believe or accept what I was watching, and I want you to feel that way too. I'm going to review every game in Beast Games from the good to the bad, and we're going to come to some conclusions. Conclusions about games and reality television and storytelling and about Mr. Beast. And with that, let's do this. Episode 1. Small Beast, Huge Money, Wow. Our show begins with a sweeping shot of 1,000 contestants. This is truly a massive number of people to start a show with, and there's something vaguely impressive about seeing them all. Mr. Beast stands amongst his people, and we begin. Game 1. The contestants can choose to press a button. The ones who press it leave the show and split $1 million.
Those of you that eliminate yourselves will evenly split this $1 million I'm standing behind.
In the end, around 50 people leave, and they each get like 20K. So Mr. Beast has always been money first, right? The spectacle of his YouTube channel has always been that he gives away massive amounts of money.
And I've trapped each of them in their very own glass cube. The last one to leave their cube is going to win $500,000.
And here, I take Beast to be nodding to that aesthetic tradition. Money in and of itself is engaging, right? It's fun to hear the words $1 million, and it's a bit audacious for him to give away so much so quickly. For these reasons, I'll give this introductory game a pass. Sure, it's not fun at all. Sure, there's nothing really to it.
Okay, I don't know if I'm going to react to any of this, but it was okay. There are some good games in this, but I would say most of them, yeah, most of them are probably pretty bad. But yeah. Which one from Drum Island? Yeah, lol. He said drum equals Trump or some shit. Well, I got no context for that. Did he misspeak, or was that a genius joke? The good to the bad to the bad. That was obviously a joke, okay, Mr. Gems, definitely. Yeah, but I probably agree with him. You know, there was some good ones, but they're mostly bad. Yeah.
Just watching a bunch of people you don't know, press a button.
Trying to think, what even was the best one? I think the monster truck one, like that episode was like a good episode. Like there were cool games in that, I think. The trivia in that was terrible though. Holy. This was probably the coolest. I wonder what to rate this. I guess for everyone, the premise is that there's 4 people, one of each like team. Like you basically 500 people like divided into 4 teams, and you nominate a captain. And that captain basically is standing in front of a button, and there's a number that is going up until you don't know how high it's going to go. It could go up to like 1 million, right? Which is what it ends up going up till. Your captain can press that button at any point as the number is rising and get all the money that is on the screen, and then all their like team is eliminated basically, and they get to stay in the competition. So there's like no downside to them. They just get money and they get to stay. And they just make a bunch of people angry because they all like get eliminated, right? And the money ends up going up and up and up, and no one presses the button, and he gets all the way to $1 million, and not a single person presses it. It's like, this is kind of crazy. So this was a cool game. I like this because it's like, oh, what number would I press it at? And I think I'd probably press it at like, if you got to like 200,000, I'd be like, all right, you know what? Why not? We're in. But yeah, anyway, let's see.
At any point,
take the selfish option, right? The Golden Cup is way further away, and the whole
this is definitely the hardest question so far. The number 100
game. Nothing goes wrong. Nobody's tested to see contestants. Splits them into 4.
Oh, it's not even this. I explained the wrong one. But it's so good, whatever it is. I don't know. Where's the self-elimination one? Show me. Maybe I skipped it. It's like right at the beginning. Oh, it's here, right?
Just seems like a not very fun game to me. One that would have probably benefited.
Wait, what? Oh, wait, no, it's not this. You know what? Screw it, okay? I don't care that much. It's a video. It sounds interesting. I'd probably watch it off stream. Okay. So. Now what? Oh my goodness. What have we... Was that every video? Oh my goodness. We're done. Did we watch? Oh, there's a One Punch Man trailer. True. Actually, there's a few things I need to. Oh my goodness. Actually, I didn't go through any of my topics. Okay, firstly, the most important. Okay, now that we're all here, all 5 of us. Okay, probably 4 of us, honestly. But Jarky Bacon. Oh my god, I can't spell Jarky. Jarky Bacon is a great channel that we love. He made a great Arcane video this year, which we loved a lot. He put out his media wrap-up of 2024, which is, oops, Jesus, him and his friends or collaborators, you could say, talking about a bunch of different media that they consumed, one for every month, and they compare them and they have like tier lists and stuff. It's good, really good. And when I say it's good, I mean I've seen like an hour and a half of this, I think. No, I haven't seen challenges yet, so I guess I've seen actually like an hour and a half, an hour and 20 minutes. And I enjoyed this a lot, so I don't know. I recommend this if you're interested to see what someone thinks about. Let's see, we got Poor Things, Avatar The Last Airbender, the live action show. We have Dune 2, Challenges, Animal Well, Elden Ring, the DLC, with The Boys Season 4, Black Myth, Wukong, The Substance, The Wild Robot, Nora, and Sonic 3. So I recommend this. Go watch this, basically. I don't know who would be watching this stream right now and have not heard of Jarky Bacon and doesn't know about this video, but this is for you, okay? Please. Anyway. So that's the first thing. Secondly, there was also the Last of Us trailer that I should have probably reacted to, right? Because I'm curious on what happens. Last of Us 2 trailer. I assume it's this. Okay. And One Punch Man, which might actually get the stream blocked, but you know what? We'll try it anyway. Okay. Just sped up? No. I'll be honest, it doesn't look very good. No idea what he said. Alright, it's looking pretty rough, okay. It's not that bad, but I mean, nothing was moving, which is a little weird, I guess, for like a preview, right? The characters look okay. This looks like a screenshot from Season 1. If you told me, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's like Season 1. I don't know, Fubuki looks good. This looks kind of cool. I don't know. That was a complete nothing, okay, but great. While waiting for Season 3, we had a pandemic, I got married, had a son, now 2 years old, changed jobs twice, about to move to a new house, and we'll finish 2 whole phases in the MCU, but at least we got it before GTA 6, true. Alright. Oops. Well, what is this? Okay. I saw this video and went, this looks interesting, and then I checked it and hadn't seen like any of the media on it, and then didn't watch the video. Okay, well, yeah, that's a bit tough. I have seen a lot of things on there, so I'm actually excited to get through it. But yeah, The Last of Us, let's see. Firstly, just for reference, if you don't know who I am, I have not played The Last of Us. I have not played The Last of Us 2, but I have watched playthroughs of both of them, so I know the story. And I'm excited for this because I really liked The Last of Us Part 2, so... Oh my god, jump scare. Oh, that was a bit scary. Oh my god. Are they going to show the horse? Oh my god.
You okay?
She looks the exact same. It's kind of interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess a flashback. Okay. I guess spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2, by the way. I'm going to spoil the Part 2, so if you don't want to know, then leave.
This is where we live. And what's that?
The fence.
Oh my god, he looks so old.
What's inside?
People.
What's outside?
Monsters.
This looks like Game of Thrones. Oh my god.
The sun comes up tomorrow.
Oh, it's the thing. I remember that. Oh my god.
There's a very good chance you'll be dead. You're gonna lose.
know what he did. You swore.
I don't remember. Sir, okay. Wait, stun? Yeah, it is. I don't remember enough about this. Was this a scene in the original where she got mad at him? I don't remember this at all. Assumably about the stuff that happened in the hospital, right? I don't know. I can't, I'm not a good fan to react here. Okay, I don't know much, but it's kind of funny how many flashbacks they show. I guess it makes sense if they want to cover up that he's gonna die, right? Is there really an audience? I was gonna say, is there really an audience who like doesn't know that Joel dies in this? But I feel like it is a very popular TV show. There probably are people who don't know. Probably a lot of them, right? I don't know. This look good. I don't know. I like the first season. It was good. I'm sure this will be just as good. It is a little weird that Ellie looks really young here. I guess the actress is like not that young, right? Bella, wait, is it Bella Ramsey or something? Yeah. Like she is 21, I guess, but she looks a lot younger, which is a bit weird because it's like a bunch of sex stuff in this movie, right? I don't know. Oh, not movie, Jesus, TV show. Anyway. One Punch Man is such a funny series. Every part of it after season 1 has been downhill. Terrible anime, and I swear the manga spends more time redoing chapters than moving the story forward. You said this, I think, last time One Punch Man came up. Firstly, I don't know the common consensus on anything about One Punch Man. I love the Monster Association arc. It's I don't even know if that's what it's called. The monster stuff. It's so good. I love it. It's great. And the ending is like some of the coolest like fight stuff I've ever seen in a manga. And then the stuff afterward, which I haven't seen that much. Like I don't read it religiously or anything, but with Saitama getting an apartment with I guess spoilers here for One Punch Man, with Rover and Black Sperm is like some of the funniest shit I've seen in my life. I really like the One Punch Man manga. So yeah, I don't know, but maybe people don't like it. I don't know. I don't know if Miller's echoing a common sentiment or if it's like a Miller take. I don't know. But I like it a lot. Monster stuff was from the original webcomic, but I think all the tournament stuff was all manga original. You know what? I don't remember I remember the tournament stuff from the anime specifically, because I think it was like a weird, I don't remember, at one point during season 2, I started reading the manga, but maybe it was like after that already started. I don't remember, but yeah. Do you think it's immoral to release and then redo chapters? I think it's hilarious because it's like, it's the most confusing experience when you're reading through. But obviously it's not immoral. I mean, why would you not want him to like redo stuff? You just get multiple versions. The only annoying thing is if you care about like week-to-week releases and then you're like having to wait longer, right? But if you don't care about that and you just like binge the manga, it's great, right? You just get to choose whatever version you want. It's been like 7 years since I read any One Punch Man, so I might be remembering incorrectly. I don't know, maybe. Firstly, I haven't read the webcomic. I've only read part of the apartment finding or like working in post Monster Association stuff. I've read a few of those chapters in the webcomic, but besides that, I just read the manga, right? No, wait, that can't be the case, right? No, actually, I don't think that's the case, because I think I read like the conclusion to the Monster arc. I read that in the webcomic first, and then I saw like the manga version like years later, I think. So I think I did catch up like midway through the Monster Association stuff. So yeah, anyway. It's hilarious how it keeps happening. That is true. It is the funniest thing in the world when it's like, oh, he's redrawing again. So wait another month until you get a new chapter, guys. It is pretty funny. I do agree there. Anyway, the fact that we're at least getting the birthday flashback makes me so happy. You know what? I don't remember. But let's see. Now we have to see the great Kyle Entertainment's reaction to this trailer. What is he going to say? Oh, 42 minutes. Lovely. Is he going to pause after every frame? Let's see.
Well, everybody, isn't this just such a wonderful surprise? I'm sitting here on a random Sunday, and The Last of Us Season 2 trailer comes out. Except, we hate this show. As we went over in our last trailer discussion that I just relearned myself as I looked it up and tabbed over, we did do a reaction to the last trailer, so that's crazy. I remember there was a clock in it. Joel seemed like he was going to a therapist. Joel was in it a lot. There's been a lot of subsequent speculation that Joel might die at the end of this season rather than the beginning, and we might be doing some fleshing.
Is that going to happen? I don't know. It's not impossible, I guess.
Out flashback and forward chicanery. Which I guess is a concept I'm okay with, like if the first 4 episodes are with Abby before she kills Joel, because the TV show can be different. But if the annoying thing is if people start saying that that's how the game should have done it, and like, because that is already
Who
a talk about
cares?
how we should have
Just
cared about
ignore
Abby
them.
before she killed Joel, even though no, fucking morons. It makes me so angry for a million different reasons. But the only thing I'm really scared about is it reflecting on the game discourse, which obviously I am much more sensitive to.
And obviously, this is something I don't care about at all. Let's see. Where's the trailer reaction?
But let's just fucking do it. Why is the quality bad? 720. What are we doing here? 3 graves, fireflies. Oh. So that right there already, I don't know if we want to pause throughout. We should probably let it play because we will go back. But this probably indicates that this is after Joel kills everybody. Then we're having a moment where we're burying everybody with the firefly.
My goodness, look at him. It's like an analyzer. I don't know any of this stuff about the game.
My name's Abby. The fireflies are dead. Owen, give up. And let's go kill Joel. Also, Abby's going to be skinned. Okay. This is their little date.
Yeah.
This is where we live. What's that?
That's a lot bigger. But didn't we see Jackson?
Is it?
Already, and it looked more Last of Us Part.
Is that a lot bigger? How big was is it called Jacksonville? Wait, is this a TV show? This looks pretty big. I don't know, these look the same to me. Unless you're mistaken like the trees in the background for like a city, I guess. I don't know.
Part 2 in the original show. Because there is an episode with Tommy and Maria. Maria was a black woman, I think. Some of the details are very hazy with me in that show, so obviously it's going to be good to rewatch. Is it that big, or do we just see this one like street thing?
Oh, look at him. He's realizing it's not that big. Okay, we love it.
In the game. I don't know, they have a big part of it walled off. I guess you just haven't seen this wide of a shot of it before.
We got the wide shot right here. You basically see the whole thing, I guess. I don't know, maybe this isn't even it. I have no idea. What am I doing? I don't know anything about this. When's this idiot Kyle going to stream again? How am I supposed to talk about my secret Kyle project if he's never around? That is true, you know. How the fuck Miller always talking shit about reactors like Film Buff, then posting Nicholas Light videos, Lamel? Because he's a big fan of making fun of reactors, okay? I hate all reactors silly based except maybe Uzumaki Khan. Okay, anyway, Miller did link some videos, which I actually forgot to watch, but wait, let's watch a little more of this.
This is where we live.
Oh my god, we're doing Uncle Joel, I just realized because I saw one frame of the next bit.
What's that?
The fence.
What's inside?
Okay, so change of scenery for this scene is interesting. It doesn't look like it's in a shed. There's something about Ellie's opening shed that I really like. It's probably because I've seen that scene a million times because I've attempted to make a video on that scene about a million times. But also, it's like a little shed in the backyard.
And you don't know, this could be a metaphorical thing that is being played in Ellie's mind, and we're seeing her perspective. Maybe this is a dream. We don't know if this is the actual scene, right?
It's also the back of Joel's yard, I'm pretty sure, so she still lived there.
Anyway, okay. Wait, what were the comments, actually? I think Kyle told me what the comments were.
Well, everybody isn't this...
They're like people answering the title or something. Are they going to do it all right? By the time Season 2 comes out, the zombie apocalypse will be over. They better do it. I think they'll do it by the end of 2x2. Oh no, Maria's black. That changes everything. True. Except not true, okay? Alright. Your idol leads to God. Madoka Magica. This sounds incredibly boring, but you never know. It could be good. And then we got...
It's been
One Punch Man Season 3 looks... I guess pretty bad. I guess we'll see what is the great Nicholas Light gonna say. Or Nicholas Dark, sorry. He's gonna say, man, that looks amazing. Oh my god.
Since One Punch Man Season 2 came out,
True.
right? Season has to be like a fake.
Okay, well, I think I missed some important context there. Wait.
Man Season 2 came out, right? Was it 6 years or 5 or something? Yeah, 6 years. So you know, because there's been so much time in between seasons, this season has to be like a Fate level.
Why would you think that? But also, how long was the... When was Season 2? What was the gap? 2015? Was it 2019? Yeah, 2015 versus 2019. So it's 4 years. It's not like an insubstantial amount of time. We know how Season 2 turned out, but...
Chinese anime level. Demon Slayer Ufotable inspired. This has to be next fucking level. Right? Right? You know, JJK, sometimes it took the...
Let's see what the chat is saying. Lol, oh no, Mara One Piece. I don't know what that means. That's not how it works. No, let's go. Okay, well, at least there's like some people in the chat, unless he's being ironic, but I feel like he doesn't have the capacity to be ironic like that, but maybe.
A week to make a new episode, and that episode became like episode of the year. 6 years? COVID, whatever, bro. COVID happened like 30 years ago, bro. Whatever. We're done with that. We moved on. It's gone. It's done. It's dead, right? We're fine now, right? So at least like 3 years. All right. So I'm expecting some mind-blowing animation because that's what One Punch Man deserves. Let's do this.
Has he read the manga?
Fuck, it's loud. Whoa, wait a minute. We're starting right off the bat. All right, we'll do some pauses after. Ah, yeah!
Jesus Christ. What is this?
What was
I was
that?
doing a Tyrant Magnus bit. That was fun.
Hey, little impact frame, okay? Oh, shit!
Jesus Christ.
Tatsumaki looking, hey.
Look at what?
Tatsumaki looking, hey. Yeah, it's because you're bald. All right, little hand physics. I hope he does more than that to him. Ah!
Now, is he going to say that was amazing? Let's see.
That was alright.
Okay. All right. That's pretty funny. All right.
OST, great. Absolutely, it was great. It was great. How do I feel about this?
This is like me. I think right now he's probably thinking like, what could I possibly say about that nothing thing that I just saw? Oh my
I
goodness.
can't say much, right? It's a PV, right? I don't think it's supposed to be a trailer showing a lot of animation and shit, but you got some animated moments like this. You got something like that where
True. Okay. Thank you, Nicholas. Lovely. Yeah. All right. Pretending he wasn't watching One Punch Man when it aired. Me or that guy? But I was watching. Well, I wasn't watching the season 1, but that guy, I don't know. I don't know anything about Nicholas Light and his history. Emery regrets her decision. She has wet hair or something. Interesting. Nothing video from a nothing creator about a nothing PV. That is true. A nothing but successful creator, we must add, okay? Alright. I'm going through some things, so I hate The Last of Us now. Oh, this is that... Okay, I guess for anyone who's a Destiny fan, this is that channel that Not So Erudite loves for some reason that I've never watched a video of. But she's like, oh, do you watch video essays? You should watch DJ Peach Cobbler. He makes great videos. And I looked it up once and I was like, oh, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Anyway. This just sounds like it's going to be incredibly boring. Your idol leads to God, Madoka Magica. Oh, wow, a quiet intro. Are you the one that can satisfy me? ... Really? Who is it then? Is it meant to be music? Ah, then it was you. The one who stops my soul from leaving my chest. Why is Miller linking this?
Madoka, in all seriousness, is a show about growing up. Love, self-sacrifice, and the forces that cause people to fall apart. At least that's how it was to me when I first watched it. Madoka had the power to defeat a threat that would destroy all her friends at the cost of her own life.
Greater love has no one than this. Wait, what? Greater love has no one than this than to lay down one's life for his friends.
It is true that the greatest love someone can have is to lay down their life for those that are close to them. To say that the person they care for is above all things they could ever have or ever be. There is nothing greater. Hamura, Madoka's friend, is influenced by this almost immediately. As Madoka reaches out to her and helps her feel accepted and loved for the first time, Madoka gives her the utmost appreciation.
Why are we randomly cutting to a scene in the movie at some point? What is happening here?
And quite frankly, becomes Hamura's idol, almost akin to a type of god. She would use her powers and in turn sacrifice her own life.
This is like, I guess this is perfectly made for Miller. There's absolutely no recap. We're just getting straight to the point here. Okay.
And save Madoka's at all costs, traveling throughout time to save her at the cost of her own. By saving Madoka, however, Madoka would feel even more compassion and love than ever before. This would cause her nature to exaggerate and explode into a vestige that would never let people like her and Hamura ever reach despair and that self-destruction ever again. She would reach out a hand to all of those she related to with all her heart, and would lay down her life to protect them.
Why am I watching this? I have no idea. What is the context for this? Alright. Because it's Seth the programmer. Oh, the Dragon Ball Z guy? That's who that is, right? I was wondering why he had so many subs. Oh, it is the Dragon Ball Z guy, right? There's no way it's the same channel, right? It must be like a side channel or something. He's Christian now, so his videos have Bible verses for evidence now. Interesting. Okay, well, that was these 2 minutes were a strange 2 minutes, I have to say. We're definitely not going to watch this whole thing. Okay. Leaf Blady has donated a lot of money over the years to watch Madoka Magica and to make videos talking about it. When I watched through it, this is immediately how I felt, and I wanted to tell him. Thanks again for all the support. Leaf Blady has been begging for years to have this video. Wild, he actually pulled it off. The intro is Seth talking about Broly. Oh, you know, all right, interesting. This is it is what it is. All right. So, how long have I been streaming? An hour and a half? I could end here, but is there anything else I should be doing? I'm a bit hungry. Is Kyle gonna react to a video with me, I wonder? We'll see. Any other links? No. Oh, I guess there's also this video Kyle linked like ages ago.
Google.com.
Google doesn't work anymore. So, again, I feel like we watched... It can't be this video because this only came out 6 days ago, but I feel like we watched a video like this on stream once. But I guess we could watch a little bit of this. I know this is like a common take for some reason. I guess for a somewhat valid reason, I guess, but Google is bad now. That's like what I hear all the time. And there's like a few layers to this. One is like what I've heard Destiny say, which is that there's no need for Google or whatever, because all we do is kind of Google social media sites. Like we go Reddit, what is avocado a fruit or something, Reddit, and it'll give us like links to Reddit. So we're just using it as like a glorified Reddit search engine or something. That's like one thing, which that's not like an indictment of Google in any way. It's just like an indictment of like the use of social media and the internet. So I don't think that's what this video is going to be about. Then there's probably people who are like, oh, there's like ads at the top, which like that's like a non-issue for me. You just scroll down a bit, you know, you see where it says ad, you like scroll down. It's like takes 2 seconds. Or you get an ad blocker, I guess, which is what I have, you know, but what else is there? What's the issue with Google? Yeah, I guess there's a more common thing these days about how like all the results are AI. Like there'll be like articles that are AI generated. And all the AI people are tricking Google and therefore Google is bad. I feel like it has to be that one, right? That's probably the most valid of all the options, right? Which in that case, I'd probably just need a bunch of examples, right? Because you could be like, okay, give me a recipe for baking a cookie. And then you'd probably struggle there. Maybe there'd be a bunch of AI articles. But like, are they wrong, I guess? Do you just not like them because they're AI? Like, what are you looking for, I guess, when you're like Googling something? I'm trying to think, besides the AI, why else would Google be bad? I feel like when I'm Googling things, it's either to find like news articles or to find Reddit, like things on Reddit, or like an obscure site that I don't quite know the URL for, like Letterboxd. I'll be like, is it letterboxd.com or letterboxd.net or like something else? Stuff like that I'll Google. Random questions, but then you could say that like maybe Google is useless because I just read the AI response at the top anyway. Maybe you could say Google, well, it says Google doesn't work anymore. Because if you're saying Google is evil, you could say, oh, they're like taking the data from the people and using an AI generated response, right? I don't know. I'm just so curious what this is going to be. It'll be something very dumb, I'm sure, but you never know. It could be good. When One Piece? We'll see. It's this year, I promise, okay? Well, your setup looks a lot more clean since the last time I came to stream. Oh my goodness, thank you. Oh my god. It's because of my good camera, I'm sure. And my nice, you guys can't see this, but my nice 42-inch curved OLED TV that is currently my monitor, okay? It's like the best thing I ever did was move my TV to be my monitor. It's lovely. Anyway. Stealing your data. Well, that's not like why it doesn't work anymore, I guess, but that could be why it's evil, I suppose. I hate how every website is the same now. I don't need an AI summary or some shit at the top of my search. Just list the websites I'm looking for. Well, I'm curious if you can give me an example, we can look into it, right? Because I feel like a lot of the time, the AI summary is probably answering what you're looking for, right? But maybe that's just my bias showing, I guess. Because if I Google like, oh, give me like a cookie recipe. If the AI gives me a cookie recipe, I'm like satisfied, right? Like what is something where you're not, like you're annoyed by seeing the AI response, I guess. Just give me like a Google search and then we can like try it. But yeah, anyway, let's see.
Is a pure search engine. No weather, no...
Oh.
Google.com is a pure search engine. No weather, no newsfeed, no links to sponsors, no ads, no distractions, no...
Oh, is it going to be a Google's hypocritical thing? They like fell apart and they don't follow their own initial goals or something? Because I don't care about that at all, but...
Portal litter. Nothing but fast-loading search sites.
At Google, our mission is to make the world's information accessible and useful. And that means...
That sounds about right. Google mission statement. Let's see what their current one is. Probably to like connect people with the information they're looking for or something like that. Why is Google not working? Oh my goodness, literally not working right now. Look at this. We have a nice AI summary of their statement. And then we have like a nice thing from Google themselves. Google mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible. That's what I said. All right.
means all of the world's information, which now in our index numbers over 1 billion documents.
Artificial intelligence would be the ultimate version of Google. So if we had the ultimate search engine, it would understand everything on the web. We're nowhere near doing that.
Who does this sound like? It sounds so familiar.
Now. However, we can get incrementally closer to that.
I don't know about you guys, but using the internet nowadays feels somewhat worse than what it used to be. It feels a lot less straightforward. I'm pretty sure that
I guess I can't relate to this at all, but
how it used to go is that you'd look something up online and then you'd get a bunch of links to do with that thing. But now, if I want to find something, the most effective way of doing that, according to a bunch of tech companies, is like talking to a robot for a while, having a little conversation with it. Hey, how are you doing? Can you please let me know this thing that I'm looking up, please? Please, robot? No, obviously at the moment, I still use Google. I'm technically using it right now by posting this video. But a lot of people, myself included.
That's not true. I assume you're talking about Google, the search engine, right? But okay.
Have been feeling like something is off. And I want to explore that. I want to see if this feeling is based in reality or not. Now, a big thing that inspired this video...
Oh, it's an investigation video. Okay, this could be good.
Is this Reddit post right here. Can we pull this up on the screen? Can we have it on the screen right now? Do we have this technology? So this is by Night Train, posted on r/mildly infuriating. Just watched John Wick 4. Did a quick search to see if they are making a 5th one. This is the abysmal state of Google and the internet as we go into 2025.
I feel like I've seen this, but...
Let's see this picture that he has posted here. So at the top, we can click to see the cast.
You know, let's just try it ourselves. It's probably been fixed by now, whatever, right? If this is real at all, but... what do they Google?
Of Google and the...
John Wick 5. Okay, so firstly, it's very different to this. So what's fake about this? Movie doesn't exist. I'm curious what would happen if you press cast and reviews. Because John Wick 5 is like... Okay, wait, never mind. Fake. That is interesting that it would create fake stuff like this. I just wonder if this is real. Chad... Okay, wait. Chad... Linsky. Okay, so it's someone at least associated with John Wick, right? Like, is it someone who there's news articles that is, like, making the 5th one or something? I guess not. All right,
the internet as we go into 2025. Let's see this picture that he has posted here. So at the top, we can click to see the cast and reviews. Reviews for a movie that is not out.
I'm curious, like, what would happen if you pressed it? Would it show, like, reviews for the old movies or something?
As of yet, the main pictures that you see under John Wick Chapter 5 are either AI fake trailers or fully speculated clickbait articles. At the top right, it says the name of the director. The person here saying that's not true, because again, nothing is confirmed about this movie. The second one under top stories is an AI fake article. Then we get a completely useless page with no information whatsoever. That's the IMDb, again, for a movie that is, there's no news.
Say, wait, what? Wait.
The name of the director, the person here saying that's not true, because again, nothing is confirmed about this movie. The second one under top stories is an AI fake article.
Keanu Reeves gives disappointing John Wick 5 update. By Game Rant. So this is a... What did he say it was? The
name of the director, the person here saying that's not true, because again, nothing is confirmed about this movie. The second one under top stories is an AI fake article. Then we get...
Oh wait, the second one under the top stories. Okay.
About this movie. The second one under top stories is an...
John Wick Chapter 5 teaser trailer. Keanu Reeves, Robert De Niro from Fathom Journal. Okay, wait. John Wick Chapter 5 teaser trailer. Keanu Reeves, Robert De Niro. 86F11E. By Fathom Journal. Oh, you know, I can't even see this. I feel like it probably got deleted, but anyway, we'll keep watching. This is kind of interesting. He's doing an investigation. Do you think there'll be other examples? I hope so. That'll be good. I'll be happy with this. I'm feeling it too. It do be vibes based. Okay. Unless I could go back in time and physically compare results, I'll never be able to explain it. You probably could somehow, right? Like with the Wayback Machine, right?
An AI fake article. Then we get a completely useless page with no information whatsoever. That's the IMDb, again, for a movie that is, there's no news about it. And then at the very bottom, after you've sifted through this pile of garbage, of spam, pretty much, you get the closest thing to actual information, and that is a piece of information in the middle of a long article stating that the movie has been greenlit, but no one's working on it. Good stuff. Now I see that...
I feel like... Show me the page. Like, this is bad, right? If this is real, which let's just assume it's real. Holy, show me the unblurred page. Oh my god, bro, please.
on r/mildly infuriating. Just watch John Wick 4, did a quick search to see if they are making a 5th one. This is the abysmal state of Google and...
Yeah, like, this is bad, right? But if we're being honest, like, someone, if you did Google this, John Wick 5, say you're, like, some person who's interested in, like, watching, oh, like, I just watched John Wick 4. Is there, like, a 5th one I can watch? Like, you Google John Wick 5. You'll see this. You'll be like, oh, so there is, like, a John Wick 5. Hell yeah. You scroll down, you see trailers. You're like, okay, I'm not looking for trailers, so I want to see the movie. You'd probably scroll down a bit and be like, oh, there's an IMDb page. Let me click the IMDb page and see about it. You probably click the page and be like, oh, there's nothing there, right? Or like that'd be like a placeholder, right? Like, you'd be like, oh, okay, so this is like kind of empty. I guess it's not out yet, right? And then you probably just end it there. So it's like a little bit of a hassle, but not even. It's like a little bit. Like, I guess I don't necessarily think this is like a big deal, right? But I guess it does fit into the title of like it doesn't work anymore. This is a valid kind of example of it not working, but yeah. Anyway, because this, again, this feels to me like what I was saying before about, I think people complain about the ads on Google and it's like, oh, it's like filled with ads and you have to scroll down a bit and it's like, oh, like you're seeing all this nonsense and boring stuff that isn't related to your query. But it literally takes like 1 second to like scroll down and be like, oh, ad, I don't want an ad. Like I'll scroll down and just see that, right? Which I feel like it's a kind of similar thing that's going on here, but like a little worse, right? Because it actually is something that doesn't exist. Anyway, let's like keep going. Maybe there'll be other examples.
Your top stories is an AI
like this could be a convincing video if it has like a bunch of examples like this. Like if you give me like maybe 10 to 15 examples of this, I'd be like, okay, like this is an actual, like something that could be looked into more, right? So I guess we'll see.
It's not true, because again, nothing is confirmed. I'm working on it. Good stuff. Now I see this image as a beautiful art piece. A true testament to the sort of what the kind of situation that's happening right now with search engines. I'm going to use this as a reference point. We're going to go back to different bits that are in this image as we go along to sort of to see why. How did it come to this? How did they this up this much? You know, now they own all these websites and they have a phone and all that. Maybe, did they just forget that the Google search engine is a thing? This post seemed to really resonate with people, gaining over 97,000 upvotes. There's a comment here with 19,000 upvotes saying, search anything remotely popular and you're immediately thrown into this hellscape. I miss the days when a lack of information meant a lack of search results. That's right. I mean, a search engine that works well doesn't just flood like a bunch of spam to the top of your feed. Like, I don't know. I guess I've gotten used to this. I forgot that that's how this is supposed to work. But yes, I'd absolutely rather get no search results rather than a bunch of fake articles and fake trailers. This is what's known as internet pollution. It's pretty rampant. Time is ripe for a new search engine, similar to how Google
Okay. There's no way this entire video is based on one example, right? We can watch a little bit more.
Cleaned up the AOL garbage in the 90s. That's right. If you remember the ads that I read like a minute ago, hopefully you remember it. That would be good. This is what they were referring to. AOL used to use a lot of third-party search engines, and they were pretty crap. They'd fill your screen up with a bunch of ads that you don't want to see. And because their engine was less algorithmically sophisticated than Google's, you'd often have to like sift through just a bunch of nonsense before actually finding this thing that you're looking for.
All right. It is what it is. Okay. Anyway. Some people aren't smart enough to determine what is an ad and what isn't. I've seen it. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's probably right. There probably is a large portion like that. Anyway. We hate Google. Let's use, what do we use these days? DuckDuckGo? Is that what people say? I don't know. It is what it is. All right. I think that's it. I think I'm done. This is the end of this. It's getting pretty hot in my room. What do we think it is? Everyone guess the temperature and then I'll show you the result, okay? Celsius, okay? I assume no one will type this in the chat, so I'm going to show you in like 5 seconds, okay? Where is my camera again? Oh yeah, it's between my monitors now. It's pretty crazy. All right, 34 degrees. That's an interesting prediction. I guess it is. That would be quite hot. Here we go. 29 point. Oh, that's really right. 29.5. Okay, so it's pretty hot in here. Jesus. Holy. All right. Why are there no good YouTube videos? What do you mean? The great film buff is putting out videos all the time. Look at this. He put a monster reaction up yesterday. Oh, let's see him react to something, okay? It's gonna be so good. What's he gonna say? He'll be like, ha 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 ha. He'll laugh, okay? I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I'm gonna write that down. We're gonna talk about that later. I'll put a pin in it. Oh.
Okay. I actually had that question in the last episode.
True.
Okay.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Another question answered, okay.
True.
Go on, Milky. But there could be other reasons, maybe. Let's see.
He's good with his like hand movements, you know. I've never noticed, but look at him react with his like his whole body, not his head, you know.
Okay, all of this is going to come into play, right? Of course it is.
Of course.
See, the face is hidden right now. There's some interesting stuff at play here. If any of that stuff actually counted as official requests.
See, constantly critical. You know, he's always thinking like, are they telling the truth to me? He's a good viewer, a good observer here.
They certainly think so.
Look at this. Very physical, you know. He's a good like on-stage presence in his reactions.
Exactly, but that's not Killua though. Milky, go on.
All right, excellent. We love him. He's fantastic. Okay. Did you listen to Blind Wave defend Kathleen Kennedy? No, I haven't. But I mean, I defend her as well. I think she's done fine. Blind Wave, oh my goodness. Blind Wave Squadron. I assume it would be on this channel, if anything. Probably in a live stream, I guess. I don't know. Film Buff is doing Steins Gate, apparently. He is. It won a poll. It should come out next month, I think, or something like that. I am excited. Could be good with its strong directing in the opening episodes. True. You know what I predict? I think in the first episode, he's going to piece it all together, and it's going to be great. Does he ever not read the subs fast enough? Being able to keep up with the exposition overload on this part of the story with no pausing is kind of sus. Yeah, I don't think he's ever, like... I mean, maybe he, like, misses it and he, like, puts on a brave face and is good at, like, pretending that he didn't miss it. But I don't remember a single time where he's, like, missed a thing. Especially, it's also the worst, or the, like, most strange, in Greed Island, where there's, like, a million cards that are showing up, and he's, like, trying to, like, I don't know, I think it's impossible to read the card quite, like, fast enough and also read the subs that are, like, under the thing, and somehow he does it. But also, I guess it's, like, he might not get it when he's reacting to it, but in the discussion he does, and I assume it's because he, like, goes back and pauses it and, like, actually reads it later and, like, talks about the discussion. But if I were to guess, he probably doesn't actually, sometimes he probably does miss stuff, but he just, like, is good at not pointing it out when he misses stuff. Like, he can probably just, like, say, oh, that's interesting, even if he didn't, like, get it, you know? I feel like that's probably what's happening. Yeah. Latest live stream, okay. Damn, no timestamps. That's kind of crazy. Kathleen. The greater good is Kathleen Kennedy staying on as producer. Oh my goodness.
About Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
You want to get views?
I heard.
You want people to click? Let's talk about how Kathleen Kennedy is done.
She's retiring, right?
She's done.
Done with Star Wars?
Pretty sure fired.
She's fired.
I think.
I've heard that she's fired for years.
Yeah.
Firstly, it's, like, not official, right? Did it get confirmed yet? I'm sure they're going to address this, but... what would it be called? Retirement or something? I don't know. Which is not retiring, right? Stepping down? So IMDb, Variety... Okay, Variety is, like, very reputable. Kathleen Kennedy, the longtime president, is expected to step down by the end of 2025. Okay. A separate source close to Kennedy, however, dismissed the initial report by Puck as pure speculation and said nothing has been decided. Kennedy joined Lucasfilm in 2012, $4 billion, credited... Actually, I do wonder if this is, like, them reporting it. Wait, what did they say? Kathleen Kennedy, the longtime president of Lucasfilm, is expected to step down at the end of 2025. She intends to retire after her current contract ends, according to a source with knowledge of her plans. I don't know, wouldn't they usually, if it's, like, Variety doing this research or whatever, wouldn't they say, like, a source told Variety or something? Like, are they just saying here that they've read the other article by the Puck or whatever? I'm curious about that. What's, like, another reputable... Okay, I don't know any of these is reputable. Is Empire reputable? I don't actually remember. For now, Kennedy's departure isn't confirmed, but stay tuned for an official announcement. No official announcement has been made, but Puck reports that Kennedy will be stepping down after 13 years. So I guess all of this is all coming from the Puck article, right? Which I don't know anything about Puck. I have no idea how reputable that is, but anyway,
yeah,
let's see.
For real, dude. Is it? I got to mention to you that I was wearing a Star Wars shirt, and I went to the gas station in Devola, and the guy working behind, this was 2 years ago. The guy
she made a statement confirming that she's still going to produce films. Will step down from the Lucasfilm within a year or two. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait, how did I not see that? Wait. Are you sure? When did she say that? Like very recently? Maybe Google is really bad. It's not giving me this thing. Oh my god. Staying on as producer? Daisy Ridley confirms Kathleen Kennedy will be very involved. Well, okay, that's not what I wanted. I have no, I can't see anything on it, so I have no idea. But we'll see. Maybe Blindwave will mention it. I don't know. The quote talks about how they've been deciding succession and will announce it within a year. This is from Kathleen Kennedy? How am I not finding anything on this? I feel like that's like really big news, right? Eric brings it up. Okay.
working behind the counter was like, hey, did you hear the news today? And I go, wait a minute. He's like, they finally canceled and fired that stupid Kathleen Kennedy that's ruined Star Wars. I'm like, they did?
Sure.
You're like, yeah, she's gone. Like, they haven't reported it yet, but he was like pulling out people that were talking about it. It's like, they got the information. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. I can't wait to go home and read about it. I'm not interested in having, like, you know, art war like some people are, but I was like, oh, okay. And the next time I saw him, I was like, I heard that Kathleen Kennedy thing didn't work out. I was like, yeah, it'll happen. But he was very adamant it was happening. But no, there were rumors that came out that the retirement was happening. But from what I understand, it's not the case still.
So she's not retiring.
Because we were.
Kathleen Kennedy speaks on her Lucasfilm plans. Lucasfilm plans. Deadline, that's pretty good, right? She's not soon retiring. What is this? Oh, I guess it's this. Kathleen Kennedy speaks on a Lucasfilm plan. She's not soon retiring in the films that will keep her in Star Wars orbit for years to come. Okay. According to insiders, Kennedy has been working on a succession plan for a couple of years, eyeing candidates from within a position, from within in process with Bob Iger and Alan Bergman. That puts someone like Dave Filoni, who knows the universe inside and out, in a strong position. I admire Baloney's hustle and ability to turn hard. Okay. Okay, we've read all the speculation reports. Okay, wait. Deadline gave Kennedy... Okay, wait, here we go. Okay, so the woman not deserves... Okay, she also deserves to own her own narrative and demystify this pseudo-drama. Deadline gave Kennedy that opportunity, catching her just before she headed off to be honored tonight with husband Frank Marshall at the Oscar Wilde Awards. When was this? February. So this is recent. Okay. Was that correct? Wait. Yeah, okay. We've read all these speculative reports that are out that there's a frenzy for the new person who's going to take over Lucasfilm. What is the truth? The truth is, and I want to just say it loud and clear, I am not retiring. I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. Well, this is a pointless thing, okay? That is the first thing that's important to say. I am not retiring. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with Bob Iger and Alan about what eventual succession might look like. We have an amazing bench of people here, and we have every intention of making an announcement months or a year down the road. We are in lockstep as to what that's going to be, and I'm producing the Mandalorian movie right now, and I'm also producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. So I'm continuing to stay at Lucasfilm and looking very thoughtfully with Bob and Alan as to who's stepping in, so that is all underway, and we have every right to make that announcement when we want to make it. All right. Well, there we go. Let's see what Blind Wave says about
We're
it.
gonna have this discussion about who do you think should replace her and that type of thing.
What?
Oh, Gonk is saying something. But yes, we do have the deadline report up here, and I have specifically a quote from this report that I wanted to talk about.
Oh my god, is he gonna read the quote I just read? Hell yeah.
Which I should have had just available to me, but people keep posting on my phone. Okay.
Posting.
Yeah, sorry, the notifications came up. All right, so this is from Kathleen Kennedy. The truth is, and I just want to say loud and clear, I am not retiring. I will never retire from movies. I will
True.
die making movies. That is the first thing that's important to say. I'm not
Obviously not true. She will not die making movies, I can assure you of that.
retiring. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with both Bob and Alan.
All right, we get it.
To be who is stepping in. I just thought it was fun, and we have every right to make the announcement when we want to make it. So she is continuing the work, Aaron.
Okay. Yeah, because I heard and like I saw like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy's done with Star Wars, and I was like,
I just thought it was funny because, you know, like when the first thing dropped like last week or whatever, and it felt like, oh no, this actually might be the time, and it's like, oh, okay, that's it. I'll go check it out because I personally just don't like focusing on the business side of Star Wars sometimes, you know.
I don't believe this. But then maybe I'm just, my anti-Eric bias is showing, because whenever Eric is talking about anything to do with like Star Wars, he always talks about the behind the scenes stuff, about the actors and the production and the CGI and blah 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 blah, and the AI or whatever. I feel like he cares about this, but
No, which is not why I'm here, you know. I'm interested, but I don't
like he talks about the directors, and I feel like he does talk about it a lot. But
looking for it. So when I had to go look for, well, you know, we'll talk about the Donkey Gonk.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. It's not happening.
Sure. Well, because some of
There's
it's
a plan of it happening in like a year or so.
Some of it, like you said, is like, well, who should like take up the reins from whenever she moves on? It seems like what they're talking about too. But like, you know, you go the route of having someone like Dave Filoni being brought in, or do you go the route of having like Kevin Feige or something like that? And who's a good like replacement for that position? And I don't know, but I know a lot of people don't like Kathleen Kennedy because they haven't liked the newer Star Wars stuff. I think some of the newer Star Wars stuff, there's been some real good. There's been some like not as good. There's been some that are just kind of in the middle. But there's a lot of stuff I think Kathleen Kennedy's worked on that is some of my favorite stuff that I've watched. You know, favorite movies and stuff in general.
She's had a hand in some very important things.
Whether it's Star Wars.
all right. I love how Aaron hears the quote and is like, "Oh, she's not retiring. Who cares? Like anyone cares about what she might be doing outside of Lucasfilm. Like anyone cares about what she might be doing outside of Lucasfilm. Firstly, it was that quote we read is kind of confirming that there's going to be like a change at Lucasfilm, which feels like pretty important. So it is weird to dismiss it like that, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what they say.
Like there's tons of stuff. I mean, she's also worked on some stuff where I'm like, well, that one didn't work out. But sometimes everything's going to be a home run. Some things are just going to like.
It is kind of. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, she receives way too much hate, right? And I think it's almost entirely because what is it actually? Why do people? Most people probably hate her because they don't like the sequels, right? That's probably it. And they blame her because she was like the head of it, which it makes sense. I guess I can understand that. But like she's a producer, right? No, she's not a producer. She's a CEO. Sorry, she used to be a producer, right? Is she? Am I crazy? Is she the CEO of Lucasfilm? She has to be, right? Yeah, the president, I guess. Maybe not the CEO. Is there a CEO? I don't know how this works. What is a president? How does that differ from the CEO? Or is it? I don't even know what this means. Well, I guess there wouldn't be one because, like, well, is that how that works? I don't know enough about companies because it's like a subsidiary of Disney. But wouldn't a company have its own like CEO, even if it's like a subsidiary or whatever? I don't know enough about business, but anyway. Anyway, the point is that there's like that stuff, which is like sequel's bad, therefore she bad, get rid of her. But then there's like the second element of like there's a mess in this is what Miller the Killer's talked to me about before, which is like there's like a mess in the behind the scenes, and every movie has like the director's replaced a million times and so on and so forth, and she should replace because of that. Yeah, I think for me there's not really a compelling case to. Like this, it's tough because you don't have like an alternative, right? Like you can never go back and be like, what's the comparison? If someone else took over, how would the sequels and how would have like Star Wars as a property like been different? Like would it have been more successful financially or less? I have no idea. Sadly we'll never know, I guess. But in terms of like what she's produced, she has produced like Star Wars has produced a lot of content. I remember when I did, firstly, I'm bringing this up because I like talked to Miller about this in Discord at some point, and I did like go and look into it a little bit more. There's been a lot of stuff that has been made, like games, movies, anime, TV shows, animated stuff. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to find it, but Yeah, I don't know. She has made a lot. But let's see.
And I mean, you know, a position like that, like one service that she does, and I think that she handles pretty well, is to be a target. You know, so that your artists aren't getting attacked over and over again. Well, do it to the person that's in charge. You know?
Sure. Which I guess I'd rather that happen versus like the I can't think of her name right now, Rose, right?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
Calendar
Or
retrain.
how much dislike happened to Jake Lloyd, or you know all these things. Hayden Christensen went through a lot. Ahmed Best. Like instead of targeting these people who were just acting and doing their job, like if you're like I really hate these movies, then like looking at the higher ups, I'd rather that go
George
that way.
Lucas was.
Well, I think it depends on who is antagonizing you, right? Like my understanding, and I could be wrong because it was a long time ago and I was a lot younger back then. But my understanding is that Rian Johnson antagonized the haters of The Last Jedi quite a lot. Now I could be wrong and I don't remember it. But if he did do that and he was antagonizing them like on social media, then I can understand why you would blame Rian Johnson or like attack him rather than someone else, I guess. And I don't know I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy has ever antagonized someone. I remember we read one article where it really seemed like she wasn't antagonizing men, but it seemed like some people interpreted it as her like attacking men. It's like, oh, maybe all the stuff where people say she's antagonizing them is like that. So I don't know actually, but yeah.
Targeted so much, he sold Star Wars. He's like, you guys have ruined the fun this is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that whenever, you know, Kathleen was hired by George, and then the Disney thing over there, she had...
Wait, that's the... Wait.
I'd rather that go
George
that way.
Lucas was targeted so much, he sold Star Wars. He's like...
Is that why? Because I remember he did an interview and he talked about how like, am I going to be making these movies when I'm like 80 or something? And then he was like, he felt like he was so old and he's like, oh, I'm not want to be doing this that long. I'd rather like live a life or whatever. Isn't that what he said? But then I'm not going to be able to find the quote where he said that, so I don't know.
You guys have ruined the fun this is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that whenever, you know, Kathleen was hired by George, and then the Disney thing over there, she has kind of fallen into, I don't know if intentionally is the right word, but fallen into the...
Because he was like, even at the time, like even after the hate, he was still making like the Clone Wars and stuff, right? Like he was religiously involved in that. And there was like a bunch of stuff still happening. It can't be the case that he sold Lucasfilm because of fan backlash, right? But Eric would know this, so I feel he'd be like way more informed than me. But I feel like that can't be the case.
The role of taking a lot of heat so that artists can still, you know, storytellers can still perform that, you know, perform that art. And whoever does eventually wind up in that role, I hope they still encourage and hire different storytellers to tell different stories. I don't want this. I feel like every time something comes along and people really like it, they say, oh, this is great. Have this person do everything from now on. Like, I don't want...
Going from where Star Wars was before she took over to it now being uncertain if any Star Wars movie they put in theaters can make money is not a good run, in my opinion. Firstly, if they make the like next 3 movies, it'll absolutely make money. If you mean like, will it be a record-breaking, like world record-shattering kind of success like all the other Star Wars movies were, then yeah, I can agree there. But it's absolutely going to make a lot of money. I think the issue more so is the comparison to the MCU, right? Like the MCU, and even that is like, I guess, having issues at the moment, but that has been wildly successful. But I feel like that's more of an exception than a rule. Like I don't think there's many things out there like the MCU and its success it's seen. And I feel like comparing Star Wars to it kind of like makes Star Wars look a lot worse than it is if the MCU never existed, right? Like take away the MCU and like Star Wars has had great success like financially compared to like a lot of other franchises, right? It's like the MCU is like this outlier that like just does so well compared to everything else. I think that's more so what the issue is.
I love Dave Filoni, but I don't want him doing everything. You know,
No.
I want him to try new things that he likes to do.
The thing I like to have with like someone like Dave Filoni or you know whoever, Kevin Feige, for the most part I think's done well with MCU, but like mainly I think it's the
MCU mentioned.
What do they call it? The whatever Bible kind of thing, where it's like here's what the story is, here's our canon. How does your story fit in with our canon? And just making sure that things don't overlap and cause a bunch of conflict, because that's what people get upset about a lot, right? I mean, even the extended universe, like the old EU, had weird stuff where it's like, well, this doesn't really match with what we have here. That's why.
Kiri Mundi. Oh my god, he died and then he like no, his age is different or something. I don't know. True, people care about it for some reason. Well, they've been too scared to put anything in theaters. They've shuffled around what their next movie will be so much. Firstly, it hasn't been that long since like the last Star Wars movie, right? It was 2019, wasn't it? What was they saying? The Rise of Skywalker. So it's been like what? When did this even come out? And it was like the end of 2019. So 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. It's been like 5 years since the last Star Wars movie. But even then, like if you assume that they were just going to pump out like stories, I feel like you'd get criticism either way, right? Like if you're pumping out stories or if you're like, because the thing is like the MCU, like again, the MCU is such an exception because they put out like 2 movies a year. Like comparing it to any other franchise, like I guess the big ones are like Harry Potter. Like how many movies has that put out in the past like 5 years? Like 2 maybe? I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's not as crazy as it sounds. I don't know.
Hey, Shakti's died like 3 or 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Wait, did I read the whole thing? Oh yeah, yeah, I did.
Oh, a couple times.
Yeah. So,
All right, anyway, I am done with this. Interesting, but I'm hot and tired and hungry, and I've been streaming a long time, and we are just so excited for Star Wars. But let's watch this.
Why was Korra so bad? Whether it's because she lost the connection to her past lives.
That bothers a lot of people. That is true. I saw TikToks about it today. The people hate that she got severed from the past avatars, and I somewhat agree. I don't hate it, but it's like it can be a little annoying, but also I like it at the same time. It's kind of cool, gives her independence, you know. But...
Or Korra and Asami being a couple, or just because
I don't think anyone cares about that, but
she was so stubborn to listen to anyone. The reality is, it's because the show was supposed to be a short miniseries, which is why season 1 felt so complete. But halfway through, Nickelodeon demanded more episodes, which is fair. Season 1.
That's why The Empire Strikes Back is so bad, because there was only going to be one Star Wars movie, and they only planned out one, you know.
It was great, but the writers made some poor choices, like reverting all the character development from season 1, and then make each book a standalone without any real connection. So Korra is bad mainly because of poor writing choices. Is there anything you disliked in Korra? Why was Korra so bad?
This is an AI generated thing. I don't know what this is, but crazy. All right, Korra, am I right? Crazy. All right. I'm gonna say it a million times. Let's end this stream. Have I read all the? Will they be too scared to put out anything if it is true? Okay. Thanks for coming, guys. And see you. There is a decent chance I'll be streaming tomorrow with Kyle. I don't know if he'll be free, but we do want to watch Anora videos and stuff. And Piers Morgan appearances. It's gonna be interesting. So excuse me. See you next time. Bye bye. Sorry, I'm burping so much. Oh my god.